The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Apbt, the very first champion off Grand Champion Mayday, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute these dogs of going hard kennels for all that you've given me in the game.
Let's talk about pit bulls. The history, the breeding, the maintaining and feeding, and the controversies surrounding the great hunts. Come interact with the legends, and ask questions, and listen to their stories as we talk about kennels and dogs of the past and present. Hosted by one of the game's most respected kennels, with over 40 years in the hunt, going hard kennels Twin 1 and Twin 2, dogs like Champion the Apbt, the very first champion off Grand Champion Mayday, the Dog of the Year, and Register of Merit. Champion Pretty Mama, 2-time Best in Show and 2-time Gamest in Show. Going Hard's Bay Bay, Register of Merit, Damn to Champion What a Day, Champion Gus, Champion El Rod, Champion Yellowbird. So pull up a seat, and let's talk dogs.
The dog game is dying. Let's talk about the game first, not the dogs. It's the challenge of the wins, the competitive addiction, the thrill of the win, and the rewards of achievements. Losing only gives you the drive to come back. I learned to watch the winners, my motivation was there, my dedication was evident, now I'm a winner. The problem is the cheating to win, manipulating the truth, and then it's the all-out liars. How is this sharing our achievements with liars, cheaters, and bullshitters? We have lost the historical value of the dog game. We can't decipher the real from the fake, the lost is the cost. So I salute.
Going hard with the legends, paying homage, you know. Yo. Twins Mo and Mike, we running this game. Legends in the making, never gonna be the same. Kennels popping hard, these game dogs raised right. The brat, Pretty Mama, they shining so bright. LaMayday, what a day, they breed the heat. Red Ruby El Rod, they can't accept defeat. With 38 special and Yellowbird, we top tier champions, grand champions, ain't no fear.
Run the Register of Merit, we got the elite. Mayday Bug Jeep, Yellow Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunch and awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk about it. We the real deal, you know it's no doubt about it.
KPTO, the modern Earl Tudor. got in the pack, making moves like a Tudor. Apbt, family thick, like legends in the game. Legend of them, Triple M. Shout out the name, Deep South, Roadblock. We upholding tradition. Mama, Southern Kennels, we got that ambition. Hardcore hitters, Stone City brings the fire. The Abrahams, the fam lifting us higher.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday Buck, Jeep, Yellow, Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunches, awesome, baby, we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. Be the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Listen up, respect the hustle, respect the grind. Being Nate Dogg, putting in work intertwined. Keeping that legendary status alive, you feel? Don't hate on the ride, catch the bus, we keep it real. What's history without a future? We pay the way, Captain. We make it happen, that's the play. So here's to the champions, run the race, stand tall. Twins, Mo and Mike, we gon' answer the call. Legends in the game, yeah, we holding it down. In the world of game dogs, we wearing the crown.
Run the register of merit, we got the elite. Mayday Buck, Jeep, Yellow, Frisco, feel the beat. Females like honey bunching awesome, maybe we tight. Bloodline strong, spreading knowledge, taking flight. Scratch to win, don't talk, be about it. Be the real deal, you know it's true, no doubt about it.
Shout out to Ohio Cash, the man with the plan, Rastaman Boom, Schoolboy, aka the. There's levels to this game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Develop your game. Rob, 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 rob.
What up? What is up? Hold on, let me get on here. Where we at? Where we at? Where you at? Where am I at? What up? What up? What's up? Y'all know what time it is. Dang, I forgot what time it was. But y'all know what time it is. It's Hot Mic Friday. Big shout out to all my people out there in the back street. Big shout out to all my people out there in the Shark Tank. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let me see. Big shout out to all my people out there. Hey, sorry we late, fellas. You know, this is like a Friday right before the 4th. So you got a lot of things going on, people coming in and shit. And we just got caught up in the hype, having some damn fun. But guess what? Through all else, we still made it. We here. Let me see who out here so far. Trying to give everybody some chance to get up in this joint, you know. Nothing big, nothing big. Let me see who I got out here. Longtime supporter, the one and only my man, Mr. David Morris in the house. What up, fam? Yo, showing that mad love. My main man, Mr. Carlos Lee in the house showing that love. I see you, fam. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Paul Johnson. What up, fam? Who else I got time? Big shout out to my man, Small Time Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Yo. Happy 360 in the house representing the Shark Tank tonight. What up, fam? All right, fellas. Tonight's show, again, we're just trying to just get in here. You know, I had to throw something together. But it was a meaningful reason why we had to get on tonight. You know, sometimes, you know, you just got to do something, you know, when he's trying to address the shit. And, you know, and this just want to have one of them eye-opening experiences when you realize that, you know what, tonight we're going to base a lot of this conversation on just the integrity of the game. You know, integrity is one of the main points we always spoke of in the beginning, you know, truth, being faithful, being loyal, respect. But integrity, it's really all about the person, the people, and how you handle it. And the future of this game really depends on it. Because if you're talking about preserving the legacy of the dogs, separate the height from the heritage, what does it take to protect the true American Pit Bull? See, it's a real hard road ahead, y'all. Take a hard look at the challenges and responsibilities of the breeders and a reality check for the community moving forward. You know, sometimes you can sit back and we can go back in the past, you know, and you hear them stories like, again, one of them things like, you know, for me, this stands out. Mo know a little bit more, but for me, the one thing that stood out was, you know, when Pat Patrick tried to come back and fix the buckeye. You know, imagine what kind of controversy that caused. You know, how you gonna fix something? How do you explain the reasoning behind some of the things that happen? Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's just not even meant to explain, because if the dog wasn't shit, it wouldn't have really mattered. But because the dog, you know, turned out to be one of the great ones, I guess then it's supposed to matter. So does that mean, you know, we can't believe what Pat said when he tried to fix it? You know what I'm saying? The integrity part of it, is that what he was trying to do, is save face? I mean, he gave a reason why he did it. But I mean, some tell me you tell one lie, you'll tell another. You know what I'm saying? Some say if you lie, you'll cheat and steal. You know, some people hold that shit, you know, close to the heart. And this game has always been one of them things that, you know, has always been a problem. And see, now, when we talk about the past and you see the effect that it has on the future, you know, how many times have y'all heard people here in the now talk about fake ass breedings? You know, sometimes, you know, some people tend to forget that, you know, so many things happened way back a while ago, but these ain't brand new stories to some of us when you do shit. The thing is, some people just think that shit's just going to go away. Ain't nobody really paying attention. You know, everybody's supposed to be green. Well, no, that's not true. Because we have a lot of great dog men who have aged that's still around. You know, you got to understand that, you know, things that you do moving forward, it will always going to affect you when it comes to speaking on the history when it comes to these dogs. Because you know that one line is to say, once you tell one lie, you got to keep on lying. You try to keep that lie true. You know, that shit only comes to a head when the lie has been exposed. And, you know, a lot of people will argue those issues because somebody has to explain. You know, no, I mean, they really don't have to explain. I just always felt like if you're going to stand on something, stand on the truth. You know, don't try to make a lie fit in a hole that it ain't going to fit in. And a lot of times, to some people that know, that shit be obvious as hell. obvious. Why is it so obvious to some? Because some people was there. They ain't all gone. Some people know. And when they speak on it, does that mean that they got to be lying? Well, history takes care of that because you can always go back and follow the timeline. If the man said he did this shit and told you the story why he did it, okay, at least he told the story why he did it. But let's talk about the ones who try to stand on something that you know is a lie. You know? And who is it a lie to? Most of the time, if somebody gonna stand on something and feel like it's a lie, you know, that's like saying I said something when I know I didn't. Like on this podcast, how can you ever, you know, say that we said something, and if we did say something, it's going to be on the video, so it should never be a problem to go back and pull up anything that we may have said or gotten wrong, because I ain't never felt like that we was ever going to be in a position to have to, you know, tell a lie about something and then the truth to come out and all of a sudden we got to go back and fix it. And I never felt a need to do that. Not, yeah, we make mistakes on some things. I know I make big mistakes because sometimes I be talking about some shit and be getting dogs' names and shit wrong. But I know Mo will fix it up. But yeah, I tell you all the time, I come back and I'll say I was wrong about that shit, but then I'll tell you, you know, Mo will fix that shit because he know better than I do. Don't make me feel less than a man. Don't make me feel I'm trying to get over on anybody. It's just I'm trying to have general conversations, and sometimes I'm not experienced as well as he is, but I know enough that I can hold my own. But then that's not trying to defend a lie. That's just trying to defend the truth. And when you start having to defend the truth of things, that should make people skeptical about who and how you do business with people. You know, even though Pat might have did what he did back in the day, he did try to fix it. Did it help or change anything? I wouldn't know because I'm not Pat. I wouldn't know how that felt to have to even come out and fix the lie. Or if you told the lie, why, what was going on to make you want to fix the lie? You know, those are the things that I look at when I see it all on Facebook and shit, and people just saying things that they just really don't know. That's kind of like when we say the things that we say about Lil Mayday. You know, we can only stand on what we know. I mean, I truly, really believe that at some point in some time, you know, I was always waiting on that picture of the puppy Kunta just pop up. Because you wouldn't, I mean, we had him up until he was 20 months, then you ain't know when the hell anybody's going to have a picture of him as a puppy. You know, so look how that story goes. Look at the turns and the controversy that comes along with that. You know, but if it don't be for us bringing it up because it's reality to us, it would have been something that it was never going to be an issue, or not something to never talk about. But that's not the way you want the future of these dogs to be going. Because in our situation, we were never ever trying to sell dogs to even have to lie about shit any damn way. But think about the people who do. You know, money do strange things. You know, and popularity should never be the reasons why you get into these dogs. Let it be the love of the dog, the love of the breed. And you know, have that will to just say, okay, I want one, and you already discussing, here's my purpose. I need the best dog for the purpose. You know, confirmation is your thing, then that's what you do. You want to try to have the best bloodline that's going to give you the best opportunity to show what you can do when it comes to competing in that confirmation show. You know what you need. You know what kind of animal you need to bring. You know, these dogs have all types of bodies and attitudes. When you understand the competition, you'll understand what it takes to bring the right competition. And if you don't know, give it some time. You will learn. That's what the game was all about. You learn. We share the information to make the game better, not worse. We have no control over the laws and time. That's why we stick back here in the past. Over that part right there, it's already happened. And you get a chance to sit back and look out at the outcome. Because the outcome is always going to tell you, if the dog wasn't shit, you wouldn't be talking about it. It wouldn't even matter how it was bred. And that is where I think the current landscape, you know, becomes a little shaky at sometimes because there's so many people trying to do it. I got the question right here. Big shout out to my man, Live Your Life Dogs. What up, fam? Dana, what up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Union County. What up, fam? My man, Union County said, did you guys always think Kunta could have been Lil Mayday back when he was campaigning? Nope, because remember, we had Buck Rogers. We were actually, that was who we was trying to get into. So, yeah, that's how the camps knew each other, because we were actually going after him. Buck Rogers was a two-time winner. I think at the time, Kunta had just beat Wacko, and we felt that that would be, you know, the match of the year. You know, Buck Rogers had just beat two good ones. And shit, we could just go after his ass. He'll be going for his grand championship, and we'd be going for our championship. That's pretty much how that was going to go. Let's see here right quick. Hey, Mo, you out there? Hold on, fella.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me answer this phone right quick. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, me, I always looked at him like he looked like Brat. I always said that he looked like Lil Mayday. But never taking it in the aspect that that was him, because I didn't see the rest of his body. I always seen that front picture. You look at the front, the picture that they actually have of him, and you look at Brat, you could tell they look alike. But it didn't matter to me back then because I wasn't thinking like that. You know, I know what he looked like, but still, to me, I had a good 41, and Buck Rogers and him would have made a good match. You know, it was, like I said, it wasn't until I got a full picture of Kunta's body to know that that was my dog. It didn't take the face. It had to be a little bit more than just the look. You know, I never seen him standing up. I never seen a picture of him prior to that. None of that. If I'd have seen him the night that we would have went into him, I'd have knew right off the back of the Lil Mayday. But just a picture, at the time that I've always seen of him, just the front picture of him, you know, I wouldn't just sit there and say it, never have said that, you know, that was Lil Mayday. It had to take a little more for me to see him standing there in a picture, knowing I know my dog.
Remember, he had that chest, he had that
the stripe on their necks.
Yeah, but he had that body harness on.
Yeah, so you didn't get a chance.
So you never seen that part,
right? Of his chest.
Of his chest. But when that one picture came out and they said that's him, because we always talked about that, the way that stripe, that chest white went off always to the left on all of them. I felt like, that was one of the things we always felt that, got a lot more of that Mayday that's going to show up compared to anything else, because that was just that trait.
Right. I mean, I had little Matty. Remember, I had little Matty. He never left the yard. Brad was the one that wasn't raised on the yard.
Right.
Little Matty was raised on the yard. So think I know what I'm looking at when I seen his ass. When I seen that body, I knew it was him.
They was both bred on the yard. It's just he never left the yard.
Nope.
Brad then went to with Ben.
Yep. The female went with Ben. I kept the only male.
So yeah. I hope that answered your question, Uni. But yeah, it would have been maybe a problem.
Me personally, it would have never happened on the simple fact that I knew my dog when I got there. So the Kunta Little Mayday match would have never happened once I got there and seen my dog. So what could have happened? Well, what could have happened if I just knew that was Little Mayday when I got there, it would have never happened anyway. But the whole purpose of going after Kunta at the time was he was a 41 and we had a 41. We wanted a good one. And I thought he would be the perfect dog to go into. So remember, I went in the Grand Champion Tommy Boy, so you can't tell me I picks. I would go after whoever's out there when it comes to me in competition. So he was that target. Like I said, we never got the indication that they was willing to do it, even though we was talking all this shit about getting it done.
That's a crazy thing, because it would have been his grandson.
Yep.
That's the part I think people be forgetting. You forgot we bred him before he was taken.
Right. That was Buck Rogers, his grandson.
Right. So that meant baby. All that shit came down off of him. So, but being that you brought that up, Union County, we had another situation. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take it from there, Mo. I know you want to.
No, it came to you. I'm gonna let you. It didn't come to me.
Okay. I think we had a situation when somebody called. And y'all know we know about Yellow Dog. And Mo made a comment. And I think he always made this comment about Yellow Dog had one flaw in his papers. Now remember now, we know everything about the dog. But so it's not no secret to our people. And Mo don't never make it a secret about that flaw in that dog's papers. Because of the whole Big John situation. He spoke on it. Well, the person who was behind that breeding became in question. I think his name was
Cullen.
Cullen. Remember, we just had the pedigree up. I think we're going to put it up. But he called, and he was highly upset because he was going to try to convince us that breeding really took place. And you know how people is when they try to make a lie the truth. Just because you saying it, don't make it true. Not even in our case, but then in our case, we can, at least we would bring receipts. Because the receipt is we bred the Little John. Y'all know the story. You know why we was even there. The story would start south that we were supposed to be breeding the Big John. Why did we go all the way to South Carolina just to be told that Big John had been stolen. Well, you knew that before we left Ohio. Remember, that was always an issue.
It wasn't Ohio, Michael, Florida.
Was it Ohio or Florida?
It was Florida. I was on the farm.
Oh, yeah, you was on the farm.
In 2000, I was on the farm.
Right. Damn, I don't know why I'm thinking back in 96, because shit, we had the farm in 2000.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was from from Florida to South Carolina.
Yep.
Okay. But the fact is, you was there.
Yep.
The man told you the dog came up missing.
Big John was missing. Somebody stole him. Told me what happened and everything.
They brought somebody to the yard.
I was there. The puppy was born in November. I think I was there in September or latter part of August. Yep. So he just came up missing. And I ain't the only one to tell you that, because it was even in the journal in 2000, towards the end of the journal, that Big John got stolen off the yard. No, and that's when everybody was talking about he was in Ecuador, or they was using Big John instead of Mayday and all that shit. You know, so there was no Big John in 2004. That's all I'm telling y'all. I know for a fact he was missing, because I bred to Little John in the place of Big John. And I'm telling y'all, Big John was not on the yard.
But it wasn't 2004, it was 2002, he said.
It was 2000 when I bred it.
You bred the the paper said 2002.
On his thing.
Right, not 2004, 2002.
Right, 2002, right. Right, on his pedigree, it said the dog was in 2002, and all I said was, y'all, I'm telling y'all, 2002, Big John was not on that yard. He wasn't on the yard in 2000 when I went there and bred to Little John. Now, I ain't calling nobody no lie. I'm just telling y'all that pedigree. If he's saying that dog was born on in that year, is not right. Ain't gonna tell me nothing. No straws and none of that shit right there when I'm on that man yard breeding to a dog instead of Big John, who was off of yellow. The only reason I wanted to breed to Big John was because he was off of yellow. Remember, I'm a motherfucker that got a bunch of yellow dogs on my yard. I didn't know nothing about Little John, and came home disappointed because I bred to him with a whole bunch of question marks. And then you still got more question marks, because now we ain't even dealing with Walkmore. We dealing with somebody using a Walkmore name, trying to convince y'all. I guess his argument was, because you mad ain't gonna change the fact that your pedigree ain't right. Now I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all can see for yourself.
Well, let me see. Let's see who else I got here.
Okay.
Small Time said was super high on this breeding, was transitioning out the Army, and my partner lost the entire litter. Damn. I get to that, Small Time.
Okay, that's the dog. Y'all see the date of birth? You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that ain't right, because Big John was not nowhere around in the year that dog being born in 2002. Down there 2 years after Big John was missing. Literally 2 years, because he came up missing around June, July. 2000. Because he sure as hell wasn't there when I was there. And sure was told he got stolen. He said he came up missing while he was drawing sperm from him. That's what he said. He went back down the yard and the dog was gone. Now, that's why I know that Big John wasn't there, because I didn't even know who Little John was.
Hey, Vernon said, I know a few camps that had dogs off of Big John after he was stolen, with Bud Cullen had a few good ones off him, as did Stewart years prior to it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the one talking crazy. Mr. Cullen. Well, that's him right there. Cullen Red Bull. Well, I'm telling you, Red Bull, how you gonna have puppies off of Big John, whether they was good or not? My point is this: Big John wasn't there for him to have dogs off of Big John in 2002. Period.
Unless somebody did,
unless they know who had the dog that actually got stolen.
I ain't never heard that story.
Look at that angle. If y'all getting these dogs off of Big John after he got stolen, then that means y'all knew where he was, the breed to him.
Anybody ever heard that story?
Right. People out here breeding to a dog just stolen and ain't afraid to sit there and tell you that they off of Big John. Do that make sense to y'all? No, it don't make sense to me either.
I would at least been calling him something else.
Right.
Or maybe I never heard Welcome All or anybody, except for saying, hey, that's not true. He was stolen in 2000. I mean, the man said it himself. So never heard anybody say who had the dog after he was stolen.
Right. And he even had it in the journal. No, old journal gonna see it in the journal where he came out and told people somebody stole Big John. And this is after I knew that Big John was stolen, before it was even in the journal.
The man told us. Shit, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I don't care how you scream and holler and whine and stomp your feet. You gotta explain that. You ain't gonna tell me what now you don't go switching up to hollering, oh, he has straws. I tell you, you start one lie, here come another lie. Because sure they didn't offer me now when I was down there to breed the Big John and he was missing. If he had him down, just like he was going out there in the yard, pulling down sperm, bringing them to the front, inseminating the bitches. He just didn't do it with me because I let him do it with me. Then didn't look at it like that. Why? If he had straws, he would have had me offering me some straws to do the same thing he would run out there to the yard to do. Grab sperm. Well, I know you came here to breed to him, but I ain't got him, but I got some straws I'll put on him. We can hook them up like that. It would have been no different than him going out there doing like he do. Taking sperm off the dog, putting it in the dog. Me, I just didn't go for that. No, you're going to bring that mug off that backyard. I don't know who you taking that shit from. I'm already lightweight, on the question thing, because now I'm breeding to a dog who ain't off yellow. You're saying he's a 4-time winner. Now, when you bring him up, he don't even look like he ever been rode. So, I mean, I'm already having my motherfucking doubts. And I've always had my doubts after that incident. So, I should just didn't start then. It started from the time I went up there to breed to the dog and the dog wasn't there, to the time that I bred the Little John. And then you go into the back, bringing him to the front to breed to Sassy. And I'm already looking at him like I'm questioning everything now. So he got a good doctrine system, or this motherfucker ain't no 4-time winner. So I ain't never knocked him. I'm just putting out facts of things that I noticed and I seen. And I can put my own opinion together, and with my opinions, I can throw facts. It's not no top of the head shit. I've always said that, and I ain't never shied away from it. And as long as they keep having little things like this shit here, don't do nothing but make the Walkmore name even more questionable. You're going to stand on a lie that you know that's a lie. You know what I'm saying, Money?
Hey, man, look.
And like they said, they have some good dogs. I'm sitting there looking at the good dogs. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that they weren't good dogs. I'm just telling you they weren't off of Big John.
Unless
they knew who had him. And I don't think you'd be out there just saying that you got a stolen dog from Walkmore, Big John, and y'all getting puppies off of him. And ain't afraid to sit there and tell everybody that y'all got puppies off of Big John 2 years later after he got stolen. Come on, man. That don't make no sense, and I don't think that's what it was.
My man Vernon said, when I was down there in 97, they had collected from that crazy-ass dog. Sonny went down to Texas to learn the Camelot farm system. Can't speak about anything someone else experiences.
But like I said, the man, why I started talking about pulling straw off of Big John, you know what I'm saying, using that line right there. And you said Sonny did it. And they went to Camelot. Bullshit. No, I don't believe that shit, because you could have had that Camelot shit and gave my bitch the Big John semen while I was there. Just like you go out to the yard and collect the shit and come up there and do it anyway. So I don't believe that shit. No, I'm right there breeding, and I'm breeding to somebody I didn't want to breed to. I didn't know nothing about. No, I don't go. That ain't going across with me. And I'm telling y'all, I was there. So, and y'all see, I bred the Little John.
We know Camelot is where you get that certificate for the
straws, but they ain't got no. They didn't have no yellow. They didn't have nobody had no Big John straws running around and Walkmore doing all the shit they've been doing throughout these years, showing anything anywhere close. But only these two kennels had, got these straws from Walkmore. Then why couldn't I get the same straws when I went and bred to him and he was gone? Especially if he had these straws pulled prior to him being stolen.
And then you right there.
Shit ain't flying with me. No, and ain't enough evidence to prove that he has straws come off of him. That's just a line to cover some of this line that's been going on. That's all that is, because you ain't gonna change my attitude about Big John. First, admit the fact that Big John was stolen in 2000. Now you try to explain why your dog is coming off of Big John in 2002. You want to use the straw, but I ain't never heard him come out of his mouth the whole time he was whining that he had straw. Did you, Mike?
Not a one time.
Okay.
And then when you try to go back,
I ain't gonna try to. You ain't gonna go there with that shit with me, no how.
And that's what made it even more crazier, because he was going to the backyard to go get some semen, and you was like, "Hell no, we ain't doing that."
Mm-mm.
You see, they kept pressing his ass on. You could have told us this before we came here. That right there to me was the beginning of a problem.
Right.
We called you and told you we're on the way, and you still didn't say that. What did you think was going to happen when we got there? No. But I got to give him his respect, because he did everything we asked him to do. He tried to tell it and convince us that, hey, he gone, and somebody took him and told him how it all happened. But the
No,
fact was, I ain't gonna be bringing the shit from the back. You're gonna bring that dog from the back. That's what you're gonna do. And even then, you felt funny because you was like, man, that motherfucker ain't have not a scar on him, Mike. You see this shit? And then we had pictures. Pictures got taken when the raid happened, but the fact was we did have pictures of the breeding. And it was Lil John. Both-time winner. So
I always talk shit. I've always heard something about that. Dog didn't even look like he was in a row. I'm sorry. So I always have my question. So it just became a bigger mess when you got somebody trying to defend, you know, to me, another lie, knowing that they had that many damn straws off of Big John. You know what I'm saying? We would have a lot more dogs out here, you know, especially coming off of their yard, period. You know, come on. If Big John missing and you didn't, and that means you ain't getting no straws. At the time I was on that yard, you had straws on Big John. Why I wouldn't have been able to get one of them straws? When you were willing to walk down on the yard and pull something off of somebody and bring up here and put in my bitch. So if they had straws, I would have thought he would have gave me that kind of gratitude. Instead of me sending me to somebody who wasn't off of yellow, because he wasn't off of yellow. And I wasn't all that crazy about this shit because I didn't really know Walk-em-all like that anyway. I seen they had a lot of champions coming off the yard, okay. But shit, after my encounter, I question everything, and everything that I put a question to gives me more reason to doubt and say these things that I say. I ain't never called him crooked. I ain't never disrespected him. I'm just telling you my experience with him. And now I got somebody trying to defend another lie, because if that lie worked in 2002, it sure wouldn't have worked for me in 2000 when I bred to the Little John instead of got me some straws off of Big John. Shouldn't have been no damn problem. So no, I'm not going. I'm not flying for that. Not me. Like I told y'all, I had a partner who went there to breed the Rattler, and even though they say they threw some good dogs, I'm still waiting on that evidence. What y'all calling good dogs? Goddamn. You know, damn well, I mean, what's the big fuss? The dog had he wasn't even an ROM. I mean, speaking for the line itself, shoot, pull up something that has anything other than Walk-em-all that's produced. Like Walk-em-all. There's not a dog kennel out here that's using Walk-em-all dogs that was producing champions like Walk-em-all was doing. Plain and simple. And that's not just me talking shit. I carry receipts. You go do your research and see for yourself. Count Walk-em-all champions, and why can't they Walk-em-all yard do what Southern Kennels yard did, or Stone City's yard did, or Hardcore's yard did? Or you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got that many winners coming out of that mug. Don't you think we need to get some too? And I've always had question about it. Again, that's adding more question and doubt based on my experience with them and the dogs. I'm not saying that these bitches didn't throw good dogs, even coming down off of Sassy in the Little John breeding. The male quit. The boy turned around and sold a dog that quit to somebody else. That he turned around and quit on them. But the females, hey, they produce some nice dogs, because why are they getting a breeding program on these dogs when ain't none of them producing no winners? Well, they did. Tap Out had some winners off of one of them. You know, Tap Out has some good dogs, but you know, still no champions.
You're talking about out of the one with Sassy, the Little John.
The females? Yeah. The daughter. There was a daughter there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was bred to May 2. And Top Out now had a female off of the May 2, the sassy breed. No, I'll breed him up. I'm gonna bring up John B. Hold on, I'll bring him up for y'all can see him. Let me see if I can find it.
Big shout out to my man Cosmic Cal. TV in the house. Big shout out to my man Mr. Robert Mack in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man Mr. Archie Fuller. What up, fam? Talking Sports TV.
I'm trying to find it. There you go. That's him right here. That's him. And that's his ADBA number right there. That's his ADBA number. You see what year he was born? Now, y'all explain to me why I would want to go up there to Waccamaw and breed to Little John when I got Big John, a son of Yellow. This dog is not even off of Yellow. Y'all see that? Why would y'all think I'd be crazy with that right there?
In 2000.
Come on now. That'd have been a whole big difference than me taking Sassy Girl and bringing her to Big John. A son off of Yellow. Any a champion. That would have looked a whole lot better than this dog here. That's what I'm saying. There's no way in the hell y'all gonna tell me that I would have picked Little John over Big John. So mine over the breeder already. If Big John was there, I'd have got the breeding. There was no reason why I wouldn't have got it when I was intending to get it. And I'm telling you, I was intending to get it. And that's what I settled for. The man didn't have it. And I settled for that. Not even liking what I was settling for.
But I'm there.
He was a champion. But like I said, after I saw him, I got even sicker on the stomach. I came home talking shit about it. He was a 4-time winner. Yeah, they do got all these damn champions on their yard. I guess we gonna have to wait and see. And I did. I waited and saw. And then even after all that, still waiting and seeing. Still ain't seen nobody be able to take that line of dogs and get out there and do what they were doing on their yard. Nobody's ever been able to do it. All these years, all these supposed to be straws. None of that shit. He wasn't even a good damn producer when he was breeding. Show me what's the big fuss? Let me go down through there and want to start pulling up pedigrees and showing you what my analysis say. Y'all be mad, cause I'll show you nothing but the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I know I ain't got no reason to lie about this shit. For real. There he is, right there. Boy sold the dog quit on him, then he sold the dog, and the dog quit again. But he has some litter mates now. He definitely has some litter mates. Some females. He has some females. I'm gonna see if I can find one of them. That's one. I think this is one of them. Let me check.
Yep.
Nope, that ain't one.
No, that was May 2. It was one on the, go back.
Okay.
Sugar Shane.
No, that was off of Kite Diesel, I think. You talk about Sugar Ray?
No.
Let me see. No, I don't see one on here.
It wasn't Sugar Shane then, right?
Nope. Here, let me get back to. I think Sugar Shane was off of Kite Diesel. Yeah. Dog had a suit. Let me check with the daddy. There she go. There's one on right there. That's off of Little John. That's one I'm right here. Now, see that picture of her? See the stripe, Mike?
Yep.
See the white nose? Remember, look who she off of, though. Off of Sassy Girl, Little Mayday. See how that tray showed up, even when you put May 2 on top of it?
And Maytu wasn't a red-nosed dog either.
Who?
Maytu.
Yeah, why wasn't he?
I thought he had more like a Mayday face.
He had a Mayday face. But he was down there above Roger in them colors.
Right. I mean, color-wise, yeah.
And he had no black nose.
You know, my memory goes way back to something in them because I know
I got a picture of
Roger
him.
and all
He
of
looked
them.
just like Buck Rogers. As far as color-wise, he just had the red ace ears.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that. Now, they had another little May sister somewhere. I forgot her name. But that's a little Sassy Girl. That's her Little May sister. Let me see. Sassy May. I know one of these males came out of this breed. Oh, wasn't her. I'm looking for siblings. Let's see.
How about now? Okay, let's talk. It's called Xifaxan. Xifaxan with an X. It's a 2-week treatment for adults with IBS that provided lasting relief from their
That sugar there. Damn.
Think of it like a short-term treatment for lasting relief.
Wasn't Sassy Day.
If you are allergic to its components, rifaximin or rifamycin antibiotic agent, get help right away if your diarrhea.
Well, I can't find them all, huh?
Your TV loud.
Doctor, if you are pregnant or plan to be, have liver disease, or are taking other medications, as they may increase
I hear you, Mike.
Xifaxan in your body.
I don't think the TV's loud.
Oh, here, let me fix that. Yeah, man, I was never a proud fan. I was never a proud fan of the Walker breeding. You know, and that's not knocking the dog. But I was not, I mean, I just didn't like the breed. But that's what I came there to get. and I didn't get what I wanted, but so I took what could get. He was a champion. He was a 4-time winner. And again, like I said, till they brought the dog up the front. It made me even feel even worse about the whole situation. They go John B right there. There go Bayless' little sassy girl. That's me. A little sassy girl there. Let me see if there's another one down here somewhere. No, I don't see too many more. But I know there was a couple. There was, I think, 2 more females out of that litter. But yes, I was definitely not a happy camper with the Walk'em dogs, and I ain't have no reason to be hating, especially when I can point out my reasoning and my opinion and facts. And not saying some shit, like I hate the kennel itself. I'm just telling y'all what happened with me and my dealings, and saying that, don't come to me with that Camelot Sonny did this shit. Because if you did that, you would have a whole lot more evidence in that conversation. Because if you register them, you should have been registering the damn dogs as artificial inseminated with ADBA. It was all registered. So, I mean, somebody going to show me some registered goddamn pedigrees from ADBA, showing that these dogs were artificial inseminated litters off of DNA? I don't think so. I don't think you got that kind of evidence, because I don't believe they pulled shit. Show me some profile that they pulled. I guarantee I won't get it. Be back to Jimmy the Cricket. Since everybody want to keep whining and hollering about it, I'm talking to the breeder. Better come up with something. All that whining and shit ain't gonna help with me. I didn't put my evidence up, and I didn't put up. I didn't just talk about it. I showed you about it. No, I'm offering anybody else got any questions on that matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody having a big fuss over Walk'em dogs, and I'm still wondering why. I mean, good dog, but I mean, I can say that people produce better off of my yard line of dogs, and we wasn't breeding or selling half the dogs that Walk'em has put out there. And I got more shit showed up, and don't want to compare my shit, my line of dogs to Walk'em. I bet y'all be mad as goddamn hell. I just gave y'all a taste of that yesterday. Y'all come nowhere close to that. Walk'em shit come nowhere close to that shit.
Tuesday, Mom. When yesterday?
I mean, Tuesday, right. Nowhere close. So I ain't got no reason to be sitting there hating when I ain't got nothing to hate about. Just for me saying it, I can show you and then prove it. Hey, what worked on my yard worked on everybody else's yard. So I fell in play like all the other good kennels, like Hardcore, Stone City. You know what I mean? James Crenshaw, Windy City. People able to take those dogs, Southern Kennels, and take those dogs and go out there and continue making those crosses, and they working. Results, not no, a lineup of a nice pedigree. Talking about winners. You do not want to compare that shit to my shit. You will lose. So why would I have any reason to hate on them? When I've been saying it all along, dogs ain't produced shit outside of Walk'em yard. I ain't seen no whole bunch of champions with other names other than Walk'em champion this, Walk'em champion that. Down there 30 years later, I'm still seeing the same shit I saw 30 years ago. And got the nerve to be whining about a lie that you know that's a lie about Big John. Now you want to run over there and start talking about Camelot. No, I know about Camelot, and I know damn well there wasn't no straws on that dog back then, and they wasn't pulling straws. So I don't believe that. Show me a certificate from Camelot and show me some DNA. I don't be talking about that shit. Let's see it. I want to be hearing about it. Jump your ass out there and show everybody. If the dog was missing in 2000 and you did an artificial insemination, then you shouldn't be having no pedigree talking about you bred the Big John when you got straws off of Big John. You should have a DNA profile. Ain't talking to no dummy. Now you're going to have to prove it, being all that whining and hollering I heard today. I'm thinking I wasn't going to bring it back up. Talking about your name. It's right there on the pedigree, so that's your name on there, right? Okay, then that's who I'm talking about. Whether you like it or not. My thing is don't come with your mouth. Come with some papers. Come with some facts. Don't want to hear your mouth. We don't want to hear your mouth. We want to see your facts. Cause I know you ain't got none. You ain't gonna have nothing but mouth because everything when they talk too much, they have nothing to show. So all they have is to talk. And I'm showing y'all outside of what I'm talking about. First of all, I ain't the only one to know Big John was stolen in 2000. And what's the next thing you hear? Oh, they went to Camelot. Oh my God. Care what y'all say. Then y'all ain't being real. DNA profile, especially if they ADBA registered. Knowing the can take place. And then everybody was talking about how Yellow didn't die in 94. Here's the issue with Yellow. For everybody who don't know, it was a known fact that in 2012, Yellow had went sterile.
2012?
2000. It was 2002. Nope. Because Yellow died in 94. 1992, when Yellow stopped doing, Yellow was confirmed as being sterile. Not dead, sterile. You know, at that time, a lot of us believed Yellow was dead. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just sterile, he was dead. But I think the problem was David Tant was still advertising Yellow all the way up to 94. You know what I mean? Now, whether Yellow was dead or not, I can't confirm. I can tell you that he was not producing, in 94. In 92. And he was supposed to have died in 92, which everybody believed he was dead. But they was like, they were saying, no, he's just sterile. He's not being bred no more. But at the same time, why is it being advertised that, Yellow is still being bred all the way up to 94? They still having dogs off of Yellow. When the real game, the people that actually knew the deal, knew that he had stopped producing in 1992. They say he died, at 11. Yeah. He was 11 years old when he died. So, that story with Yellow, you got people that, sit there and say that, them guys down there in South Carolina, they do that. While they talking about North Carolina, you might talk about South Carolina. Evidently, that's what they do. South Carolina. But I just don't believe this ain't got nothing to do with Walker-Mall. It got something to do with whoever had that dog that I said that wasn't off of Big John. That's where the argument is. Well, it's not my argument. I'm telling y'all what I know. I showed y'all what I know. And ain't nobody gonna convince me that, ain't gonna tell me that Big John was on the yard either. I know better than that. No reason why I would even be on the man's yard. If y'all gonna tell me that I would have picked Little John over Big John, come on. I wouldn't have wasted my time with all the damn breedings I have made to all the champions that I have bred to. It's not even in my profile that I would accept one of Little John over Big John if they both dogs was on the yard. Duh.
Ben, he knew that's who we was coming to breed to anyway.
Anyway, didn't know nothing about no Little John. But yeah, man. Yeah, Mike. I hope you're listening. He was pretty pissy, y'all. I just want to see, all that hollering and shit that he was doing, y'all, didn't change nothing. I'm still waiting on, well, you got the right one. You want to make all that kind of noise because you should have came on the show, and try to do that hollering out there so I can show you who you're really dealing with. Better come with some evidence. Can't be coming here with that blah blah. You better be coming here with some evidence. And all those was hollering that Camelot bullshit. This is what he told y'all. Sonny told y'all this, and Sonny told y'all that. Still, again, if he told y'all, then bring the paperwork. Show us something. We don't want to hear shit. If y'all gonna call me a liar, don't tell me shit. Show me. I just showed y'all. Now you got to show me something. You don't want to be arguing with me, because I will put you on blast and will keep on putting you on blast until you stand up and show out. And if you can't do that, then you already know what we see a lot of around here. What we call the name? The little bug. What's his name? Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Where Jimmy at? I don't want to hear nothing. I don't need to hear nothing. I need to see it. Don't we want to see it, y'all? We don't want to hear this bullshit. We want to see it. That's all.
So when they get ADBA profile, right? With the Little John situation and Sassy, Big
John situation, you got to register the dog as an artificial inseminated breeding. So while they're out there ready to play everybody like they're stupid, let me educate them right off the bat, because there should be no reason why any of those dogs over there at Waccamaw is not ADBA registered, because I know Little John was ADBA registered. I'm pretty sure Big John was ADBA registered. They were selling shit. So if they want to use that line right there, knowing damn well the dog was missing in 2000 and in 2002, y'all want to claim he was off of Big John, at least show the DNA profile that you had to submit to ADBA. You even had those dogs registered. That's all.
Was those dogs registered to Cullen had? I didn't pay attention to that.
He would know better than anybody. Okay, and he sure can't sit there and say I'm lying. One thing he can't say is John was bred to that bitch and after 2000. That would be a lie. Now, if everybody's starting to holler, well, him, Sonny, he went to the Camelot. Everybody, even I didn't check out Camelot. This didn't go, but I know about Camelot. No, that ain't my thing. My thing is, if he had the straws in and Big John was gone when I got there, I think that would have been offered, being that you go out there on the yard and draw sperm from your dogs and come in there and artificially inseminate them females anyway. You just didn't do it with me because I wouldn't let you. Now, somebody started needing to answer that fact too. If he was even there, why would I pick Little John over Big John? All these questions, remember, I'm the mind of a breeder. I'm the one making the breeding. So I'm closing in all angles. There wasn't no artificial inseminating shit. Because there wasn't no straws. Never heard of anything about no damn straws coming out of Waccamaw all these damn years. And if they was, then y'all should have no problem being all them dogs with ADBA registered. Why wouldn't they register their profile semen with ADBA? It's where it should be indicated that it was a straw breeding. Yeah, I'm backing them in the corner, so you know you got to be coming out with some evidence.
And then I ain't never heard a story anybody even associated with Big John come up missing, that he was somewhere where they could even breed him and openly know that they was breeding to a stolen dog. I just never heard a story.
Because it ain't true.
Anybody else out there heard the story about who had Big John after he was stolen?
Well, they had all kind of things in Mayday. He was over in Ecuador, and Southern Kennels was using Big John instead of Mayday. And I mean, I heard that shit before. And let's see, what was another one? That was about the only one that I heard about. Yeah, about Big John, where Big John may have been taken. You know, they didn't have no idea what happened to Big John. They really didn't. Big John just came up missing, and they didn't know where the hell, how you know, 1 minute he there, and the next minute he gone.
Now, did he think the people who was there to do the breeding thing had anything to do with it? Ben, he said he did let them on the yard.
Well, he never commented, you know, that he was breeding at the time that he came up missing. He just seen him, went back, he was gone. So he couldn't really just say the dude that he was breeding to had something to do with it. But he did make a comment that he thought that the guys he was breeding to had something to do with it at the time, you know. He wasn't literally like just accusing them to me when he said it, you know. But Big John he did say Big John had got stolen. So I was like, shh. I bred the Little John. I was hoping to do something with it, but I didn't get shit. Not knocking the dog, just telling y'all the truth. And why they making all this noise over Big John like he was some great producer, you know, and as a whole, there's nothing wrong with good Waccamaw dogs, but they're good dogs. They're not great dogs. I wouldn't give a damn if you didn't like what I just said. I mean, I can prove it. I can do a whole show on Waccamaw, and it won't consist of a bunch of damn champions unless they coming off Waccamaw yard. So all these 20 years and 30 years of everybody using all of Waccamaw's champions, what y'all getting out of them? And you can't be hollering, you know, well, you're going to go, you find a good Waccamaw dog, he might be one out of the 30 years of breeding shit. And then if you got that one, let's talk about the cross that the ones that do, if you do find one, it's going to have a cross of a known producing dog. It better not have none of them top 5. If it's got any of them top 5, I'm not, you know, I'm talking about yellow because Waccamaw didn't breed, people didn't really breed Waccamaw the hardcore dogs or Stone City dogs and shit like that. They was breeding the David Tant dogs and shit like that. Shit that wasn't working on both ends of the rectum anyway. Again, y'all want me to do a show and show y'all the comparison between the two? And I'll show you the same thing I'm saying about them. I can say about David Tant. They produce great dogs. I mean, good dogs when it comes to, you know, gameness. Yeah, you can get gameness. You know, back then there was gameness. But, you know, when it comes to the true competing, you know, I'm pretty sure all of us, you know, I lost it. Crossroads used to beat. Say they used to beat up on them. I don't know nothing about that. You know, my thing was when I saw Little John, I always questioned everything after that, and I've always said that. I didn't never hide from that fact. You know what I seen out of a 4-time winner, I was surprised. So I was scratching my head and then been paying attention to, hey, okay, why can't nobody get all these champions like Waccamaw getting? You know, they getting the whole yard looking like, you know, STP over there. But at least STP can sell his shit and get some winners. At least Hardcore can sell his shit and get some winners. At least Evolution can sell their shit and get some winners from other people. You know what I'm saying? That's a point that I'm making. You got that many champions coming off your shit. You're selling the blood, and the blood is giving everybody everything but what y'all got.
Big shout out from my man, Mr. Archie Fuller. He said, I know a guy who had a yard full of walk hounds and wasn't satisfied. So he changed his whole yard. LOL.
And I felt the same way. I felt the same way the day I made the breeding. Because it to me, it's like a total difference when you're looking at Little John's pedigree, and then you do turn around and compare Little John to Big John. When you talk about me being the breeder and my purpose of breeding to a Waccamaw dog, why would I want to take Little John over Big John? When Little John didn't even fit my pedigree, to be honest. I had all the saving shit I needed coming down off of Amber. I didn't need to add no more to that shit. You can tell I never did. I kept using yellow. Everything was yellow. No, I'm the breeder. I'm telling y'all how I'm breeding it. So why would I want a bunch of damn shavers that didn't have no yellow in it? Knew that shit wasn't gonna work, especially when you bought him up there in the motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. I ain't trying to pick on these people, man, but I'm just telling y'all, man. I came home talking shit about it.
Mm-hmm. And then had somebody else that went down there called you. Is this him? Is this Rattler?
Yeah, Grand Champion Rattler. He was there to breed to the dog. I told him, don't be surprised, man. If you try to go back in the backyard and want to breed to the dog and bring the stalls up, because that's what they do. They go out and they collect the sperm. And they go out there and they bring it back and they put it in your bitch. I said, if you want to see your dog, I didn't go for that. I wanted them to bring the dog straight to my bitch. Both times. And he got there and the dude literally caught and took a picture of the shit and said, is this Rattler? And I said, yeah, that's Rattler. And he looked at the dog, he's Grand Champion Rattler.
That's what they say.
Yeah, he got right back in his car and left. He didn't make the breed. He just got in the car and left. But these are the kind of things that happen. But y'all don't be knowing about these little incidents. And y'all be ready to defend the person instead of letting the person defend himself. He the one got the paperwork. All y'all got is a bunch of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Mike. Who else? Who else got a story? We didn't you know what I mean? That's not even a big argument, because to be honest, that's how you gonna be fussing about the truth.
Big shout out to my man Mozzie Nation. Sag for life. I see y'all. Kubing! Cobain said, I know California Jack was disappointed when he found out about Watt shenanigans, especially after he put Big John on the cover of his magazine.
Oh, he was, yeah. What about the story on how Big John won his championship? That's what leaked out. See, that's what leaked out. See, how did that leak out? You know, that was just one of the few things. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to Truck Stop Preemie. I see you, fam. My man Vernon said, I've seen a lot of lines I wasn't impressed by years prior. Jeep was one of them. Once my late KP got dogs off of Pit Stop's yard, I saw the difference in those Jeep tabs and rascal dogs. LOL.
And I'm 100% in agreement with you, because when I saw that mechanic stuff, I was impressed too. Sure was. And I like what I saw. You know, I had a little female. I told y'all, baby, I killed her. And she was actually what I was going to bring to my cross into my Stone City Mayday dogs. But she was a good dog. She could have been, she was still young. But I was looking forward to really, showing her up to be a good one. So I guess Baby proved me wrong on that one. Baby was the one on the chain. So some of that stuff could be, it's more than, to me, it takes more than just gameness. I like gameness, but to me, I need more than just gameness. Because gameness will get you killed, okay? Game can't save you when you're getting murked. You gotta be good. You gotta be good all the way around bulldog, messing around in the world that I played in. And evidently, it definitely was playing amongst the greats, because it just so happened that my dogs were just as good as they dogs. So if they was great, and my dogs had a bunch of their shit in there, guess what? I guess mine might add to their legacy. That's all I can say. My dogs added to their legacy. My Mayday dogs added to their legacy. My Stone City dogs added to their legacy. It wasn't, my shit was going hard shit. It wasn't, it was Stone City in it, it was Mayday in it, hardcore in it, Jeep in it, all that shit, but it was still going hard shit. But they had enough great dogs in there to be different, And the other good thing about it, I ain't the only one that can sit back and say something good about those dogs in other people's hands. I can pull their shit up.
My man Sack for Life said, all right, now PBK going to lose his mind if he hears you speaking on Walkmore. Shit, well, your nephew had enough to say about Walkmore's damn himself.
He don't need nothing off of what I'm saying, because he just said enough. He defended them at one time. Yes, he did. But at the same time, he being honest with you about that shit that got away. I mean, if they took all the Walkmore dogs off their yard, if they had another yard, then what did my man end up getting that was left off of the Walkmore dogs? Like, that's what PBK be on. What shit did y'all get after they took their yard? Because they showed them how they good shit over there on somebody else's yard, and they still feeding a bunch of dogs every day. What dogs got taken? And what dogs got left? And what dogs did they get? All them questions come up.
Big shout out to my man Michael Brown. What up, fam?
But yeah, that was, see, Running Star was talking about breeding the Mayday Junior. To me, I think a lot of those dogs was coming off of Mayday Junior running. I think a lot of those dogs that was coming off of Mayday was coming off of Mayday Jr. because Mayday Jr. looked damn near exactly like Mayday. Yeah, he did. He looked just like Mayday. He had a little longer legs than Mayday, but he sure looked like, put it like this, put Mayday's face and body onto a dog with like, big, a little long like Luke Kane, See, Luke Kane was a little long. Mayday Jr. was like that. But he had the perfect name, Mayday Jr. Well, I'm gonna say, and I'm reading your shit, right? And you made a good point. I was one of those people. You know what I'm saying? They said, man, they wasn't producing when he left. I was one of those people. Something was wrong with him. And he sure as hell didn't take when Brat was bred to him the first time. If anything, like I said, she got sick. She was very sick. So, it was just funny that I said, and I had the same thing I be saying about Waccamaw, I say about Southern Kennels. Southern Kennels, again, 17 champions in the United States came directly off of Mayday. Get over there and make more money selling dogs and breeding, I mean, really wasn't breeding Mayday much as far as starting out Mayday. He was just selling a lot of Mayday puppies. And he sold more puppies over there than he was selling in the States. And he sold a lot of dogs in the States. But the dogs that he was selling out of Ecuador, he had a lot of dogs coming out of Ecuador. And I have to say, again, I said Mayday came up with, well, you add little Mayday, that's 18. And Mayday had a total of 26. So that's 8 more dogs that came out of Ecuador that became champions.
18 before he left, 8
and
after he gone.
8 after he was gone. They said these dogs was off of Mayday. You know what I'm saying? Again, we got puppies out of Mayday. Like I said, one thing about it is the Brat and Mayday breeding. Okay, May 2 have straws over there. If they really wanted to know if Mayday was producing, he would be the perfect one to tell you, because May 2 was produced off of Mayday in Ecuador. So I'm talking about Brat was over there for about a year and she came back pregnant. Because she didn't take the first time he bred her over there after he got her well. She took the second time. Now, was he off of Mayday and Brat? Well, y'all see the picture, y'all see them stuck together, but does that mean that the puppies actually came off of Mayday? Well, one thing for damn sure, he sure threw one motherfucking thing for a fact, just coming off of Brat alone. They came with that crazy shit and they came with that back end shit. So whoever Brat was bred to, the dogs that came in off of that weren't big dogs. Not a one of them. And May 2 was the only, he had a little May brother who died early. Like he didn't live but 2 days. It came out looking just like Mayday. But all the rest of them came out red noses. And buckskin. Because Maytooth, he didn't come out black color. He came out more like Buck Rogers in them color. You know what I'm saying, Money? Yeah, he didn't come out deep red like them. And so the earthquake, remember what earthquake color was? He didn't have the Mayday color like Barracuda and Lucan in them. He had more of a lighter yellow, like baby.
Wasn't he in that case?
Oh yeah, he was a good one.
Yeah.
I called him Mayo, and they called him Earthquake. But we can sit there and talk about these guys, but who are we talking about? We're talking about guys who was breeding dogs after they have already captivated the community with the great dogs that they had. You know what I'm saying? And if you got dogs that's going off the yard producing great dogs, and you already selling your dogs that's got dogs doing good in other people's hands, you're gonna sell a lot more dogs. You know, like I said, I even went to Jesse. If it don't be for the Jesse James thing, I would have never really thought that Stone City had to resort to that. You know, and like I said, when Mayday was bred to Blondie, you know what I'm saying? I know that they coughed up Hannah. She was supposed to be little mate to them. You know, and she was a champion. Okay. And the way they talk, they made the Mayday Blondie breeding more than once. They did it twice. Now, keep in mind, this is all going on between Evolution and Victor. Stone City had a part in it because Blondie was their dog, Yellowbuck's sister. But a lot of that shit was going on, you know, and it got to a point where I even approached Jesse and asked Jesse, you know, why you ain't saying nothing? Because I know what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting question marks all over the place. I'm just wondering how they letting them do that. And, you know, they using the Stone City name and y'all ain't saying nothing. Well, now I know why. Now, cousin was damn near the bookkeeper for him. Oh, because it's a family thing y'all doing right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, this the Latino movement on the game. Y'all locking it down. Okay, I see it. And they was using Evolution to do it. You know what I'm saying? Jesse and Victor. Because they was both selling a lot of dogs. They was both breeding a lot of dogs. All of them was breeding a bunch of damn dogs. And they was all selling a bunch of dogs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, there was fuckery. I was picking up fuckery everywhere. I was questioning Victor. I was questioning Stone City. Victor, hey, Jesse, why y'all letting me do this? And y'all know this, you know, this shit like this, shit ain't looking right. Y'all ain't saying nothing? Okay. If there wasn't nothing fishy going on, why would I ask him? What am I seeing that's going on? All the way to the point that I question everything Evolution did. Even with the change of the kennel names and all that shit. Remember, I'm the one who gets out here inside the world of the game and say this shit, but I ain't no rookie. And I had dealing with all of them. Evolution, Stone City, Victor, straight up relationship with all of them. Remember, I had Sir Kel. I had Goofy Girl. No, I'm not the Latino in the crew. I'm the brother. Can't tell me. I was around all of them. Care how well y'all know them. I know them enough to be all in their yards. Being nosy. Okay? I'm just keeping it real with y'all. They ain't no different than David Tam, Pat, Maurice Carver, and everybody else when it comes to them out here running a puppy factory. Because that's exactly what they were doing. Jesse getting caught with Jesse James and his broke dick. Okay? Come on now. How many people got Jesse James dogs? Everybody but me. And I'm the one breeding right there to him. Standing there. Come on. Tell me there ain't something wrong with that. To the point that's where we came, that's where, you know, the situation came up, messed up, and we fell out. And I really didn't fall out, you know, but just, I knew that, you know, he admitted to me that the dog shit was broke. So by admitting that to me, I'm just wondering if, how long I was sitting up there breeding to him and wasn't getting nothing. You know, that's a whole year that, and the whole time y'all out here with Jesse James puppies. Okay? I'm just saying.
And then it talks shit about the money.
Hmm.
Oh, that's where he knew he had a problem. Or he didn't know until the problem came to him. You know how you treating everybody else, but it'd be damn if you're gonna be doing it over here. Remember, we know each other. You gotta come straight to your house.
But it was fucked up. But the people out there, I mean, they was just selling dogs. And people were going for the shit. People was buying the shit. Can't tell you how those dogs was really bred. They were just selling dogs with good papers. Hoping one of them might come out there and continue the name. That's why there was so many of them out there. Wasn't none of them turning into shit. You started watering down the whole community, and now everybody got a lot of people with a bunch of damn Mayday dogs or Stone City dogs that wasn't working out for them. But they were smart about who they was letting dogs go to, like size them up, and those guys like that had awesome beasts. You know, they was all looking out for each other. That's for damn sure. Goddamn, Mr. Link come up pretty strong too with that. You know, they took over the game. Yeah, they did. They took over the game.
But Mr. Link was one of those Victor contributors to his success too. Him and Angel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like, right.
And like I said, I know them all. And we went into Mr. Link with Brick, a Mayday dog, coming off a Maytube. You know what I mean? And they had a Little John dog. That's the only Mayday dog I ever went into. Well, he was a Little John dog. I wouldn't say he was Mayday. He was Little John.
Right.
But they was all selling dogs. They all were selling dogs, making money doing that shit too, asking for a good penny for them, and they was getting it. But they ain't no different than all the other stories we done heard about guys and their pedigrees. I'm pretty sure they weren't the only ones out there doing that. So you look on my yard, you ain't gonna see a bunch of damn litters being produced because I didn't have that to do. I made breedings that came out okay because they were able to get in other people's hands and other people were able to take the shit and take off with it. And while we up there talking about those type of breedings and shit, one of them I just wanted to make clear on was Sassy Girl. Show you a little female that, see if I can find her right quick. I know she was off a CD. Damn, what was her name, Mike? Cocky Girl.
Yeah.
Cocky Girl. Yeah.
Why you looking for that? My man Kyle said, I thought the Camelot dogs were old family, twin. all I know, to be honest with you, for me, now Mo might know something a little bit different with him, but I first heard of Camelot standing down in Tom Garner's Underground when he was telling us about, hooking up, going to get that certificate down there, and he would hook us up with the equipment, because he gave us a loan. He filled us in on the artificial insemination and the straws, and got a chance to see how he kept that shit. Everything was right there. And that's the first time I heard Camelot. But it wasn't about dogs. It was about that DNA collecting them straws and being able to take care of them straws without having to have a sperm bank. The man got a sperm bank right there at his crib. Shit, back when we was over there, he said he still had 7 straws of spike.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, 7 straws of spike. So how many more breeds you get out of one straw? I swear to God, he said 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
He said 2 or 3 breeds out of one straw. So shit. I sit back and look at the numbers and then think about the amount of straws that he had down in them big freezing chambers that he had. I mean, can you imagine what kind of all that shit that's down in there? Shit. I mean, I seen what that shit look like, and
Yeah, a couple tanks.
That's right. He didn't have no problem sharing that with us. He didn't share it with everybody, but I felt special being that, we was the only ones down there, and he really got into detail with that shit.
And Camelot, I don't know if you're talking about Camelot Kennels. This is like a Camelot college.
Yeah, like a
they
university.
reproductive school where they'll teach you how to. You get the equipment, you get all that shit. It's like a school where they teach you, and you can buy the equipment to do your own storing, collecting, freezing, thawing. They teach you everything, and you get a certificate for finishing the class. So yeah, they definitely legit. Here go another thing I wanted to bring up right quick, Mike. While we were talking about these people, things that they do. Y'all see her? You see that, right? Mike, you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, y'all see that? Don't that say Maz Cocky Girl? AKA Going Hard Maggie. Look at the date. Same year that Little Mayday beat Wacko. Why is Mad DSK Mad Kennels buying a dog from Going Hard Kennels? Specifically wanting a dog off of Little Mayday. There she is. There he is. What do y'all see there? Y'all see Going Hard dogs. Look at them. Look at the stripe on the neck. Look at the feet. The ears.
The eyes and the noses, they off a Little Mayday though.
2003, shortly after Little Mayday knocked off Wacko. Look how this puppy bred. I sent him this breed. You see that, right? 2003. Going Hard May 2. When I tell you I sold the dog. Now, back then, I don't know why. But when you look at it now, I know why. More proof. Whole damn litter of them. You see what I'm saying? Now y'all ask yourself, why would he be doing that in 2003? What did he know? They would have him coming over there. Oh, to me back then, oh, he wasn't taking our shit. Probably because of that killing shit they're trying to add to their shit. We know.
I remember the BB Red shit. That didn't make sense, did it?
It didn't make sense. Y'all make sense of that. For all y'all questioneers, ask yourself that question. Why would Mad be over here buying growing hard dogs? Especially when he was tickled when I gave him that breeding. I sent him with this breeding. I bred her while she was in heat before I sold her. Got one coming off a Sassy Girl. Yep, she's off a Sassy Girl. See what I'm saying? Go give you one even better yet. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to breed her to Mayday and Brat. Send that with you. Since you're going to bring some shit, I'm going to give you some shit to go along with this DSK Mad Dog. You understand what I'm saying? They bred enough. You may be trying to do it out. That's how I'm looking at it back then. You know, it comes a lot more clear to me now. Why? If I compare to now, what I know now, compared to what I was talking about then, no, what I was talking about then wasn't what it was. You know, more controversial shit going on in the dog game. More content for those who want to question me. You know what I'm saying? More shit where you want to ask yourself these questions. I'm still the breeder to this shit. I'm drawing that much attention. I got Black Ice and Mad coming on my yard, looking at my shit, getting my shit. Wonder why. I know I had killers though. We knew that. So we was taking it like that's how it was coming.
And then look at the ones that was coming. I mean, you wasn't going to let them go away with no bullshit.
No, I was giving up some good ones. This little female right here, she had a nice ass body. So, hey, just more what I call receipts to the conversation. As we even in these conversations that we having, you know, anybody else got anything that they want to throw up there? Because when I talk about these damn dogs, I ain't got no reason to lie to none of y'all. For what? I got enough shit out here showing you I don't need to lie. When I can show you, I ain't just talking, I'm showing you. So, you know, if y'all gonna be breeding dogs, you really don't know what you breeding. You know, some of us do and a lot of us don't. Because if we buy them from a person who's peddling puppies, then you could be getting anything. You know, it get to a point where even the great kennels turn into that. James Crenshaw, he started selling a lot more dogs than he was doing dogs. You know, all he had to do is lay back and just start breeding the shit out of gator and blackjack. And then, you know, he got tired of that and he sold gator and he sold blackjack. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is the shit that was going on back then.
Big shout out to my man, Mr. Steve Jackson. Okay, Vernon said, Camelot Farms is a semen preservation facility that offers their storage and collection system to the public for a fee. They've been around for years. Well, that's primarily what Tom was telling us.
Yeah.
He was showing us the shit, showed the certificate and everything. I think that's where he got his schooling from my understanding.
Yep.
So thank you for co-signing, Vernon, because that's the way we heard it. I don't know nothing about no dogs, but I know something about that part of that Camelot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the mailbook for y'all.
Okay, my man Steve Jackson said, funny thing, walk shit got that crazy twin talk about like Mayday if you get a good one. But that's just it, Steve. We wasn't all about Mayday. Can y'all see that? Y'all be missing that part. Going hard dogs wasn't all about Mayday. You gotta understand, at somewhere, somehow, you got to be able to put two dogs together, and then you got to be able to stop and think about what you just did and what you expect out of what you just did. Now, if I got one of the first champions off of Mayday's still around, that bitch become champion, why wouldn't I take her back to her daddy if the opportunity's there? Well, come on now. Dog men out there. If you was in that situation, and remember, Brad is early. When he did his interview, you only heard him talk about Luke Kane and Brad. And his high hopes for everything else that everybody else had. So you can't just keep telling us about all this Mayday shit and just act like hardcore didn't exist. Stone City didn't exist. Okay. Y'all don't see that? That's all about Yellow Jeep, the top 5, the buck shit. I mean, have anybody stopped and realized what a going hard dog journey consisted of? Where is this Mayday shit coming from? Because I don't defend Mayday dogs. I defend going hard dogs. And I think without me having to repeat myself, if you look at what we're showing you, you're going to see a whole lot of shit that ain't Mayday. But you're going to see the foundation of what created the rest of that shit. You can't act like he didn't exist. Just like you can't act like Yellowbuck didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like Bozak didn't exist. Cock Diesel didn't exist. Mechanic didn't exist. You have to look at that bloodline of going hard in a matter of, you can't say that that was a Mayday bloodline, because it wasn't. We shouldn't have to explain that if you're reading pedigrees. Don't think we defended Mayday. I'm hoping by now y'all understand that we defending the blood. Then we're going hard dogs. Period. That's how we've always thought about them. And that's how we always felt. Of course, Mo gonna always defend the Mayday shit because it's part of his bloodline. But he gonna say the same thing about Nico Jr., Mechanic, Cock Diesel. If it worked, if it didn't work, gonna tell you who the killers was, gonna tell you how we was breeding these killers.
Nico Jr.?
I mean, come on. I mean, shit. I think on the last show, they just got an insight. They didn't even get the full blast.
Nope.
Run the numbers, man. You got them numbers? I don't have them in front of me.
What, the number of the dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm just talking about going hard dogs. I don't really get us off into them with shit. If we had been thinking about what Victor and what Jesse and Evolution and Chico and all of them was trying to do, they took advantage of a serious situation because that demand, there's nobody gonna turn down that demand, fellas. Money make people do some crazy shit. And then when you hot, everybody wants some, and you tell a person, shit, you mean, come on now. I done heard Tom Garner say, I got the $1,500 dogs, I got the $2,500 dogs, and I got them $5,000 dogs. He said it. He said that during his little dog tour. Now, come on now. When you can sit back and do that, that means you are saying there's levels to these breedings, even from his standpoint. The thing is, what you willing to pay for? He got something for everybody. Now, come on now. We still talk about bulldogs, y'all. Can't tell me that these people are just going to walk away from money when the opportunity is there for them to get it. I can understand why Jesse did the bullshit with the Jesse James shit. I mean, I could have completely understood that whole situation, how you was doing everybody else. My problem was that you thought you were going to treat my brother like you was doing everybody else. And you right here in our back door? Oh, no. That was my problem with Jesse. That wasn't the Mo and Jesse problem. That was a me and Jesse problem. Because for me, no, that's not going to happen. If you really believe it's going to be like that, then you need a wake-up call. That's how I felt about it. And that kind of shit, people let people get away with that shit, and then some people just ain't the ones to be playing with when it comes to these fucking dogs. History have already shown you. People kill over these damn dogs, man. What is wrong with y'all? And to be out here lying and taking papers and getting mad because somebody wants to defend a life will get you hurt. It would be a damn shame to lose your life over a damn lie. Because you're trying to make something work that ain't gonna work, and then all of a sudden your chest get a little bit, right, and checks your ass can't cash, and then all of a sudden we got a big problem when we still talk about dogs. Some things just ain't meant to be spoken if it can't be truthful. Some people understand once you tell a lie, you got to keep on telling that lie, and that lie it ain't gonna maintain itself. History takes care of the shit that we call, come on now, let's talk about, Black Wall Street. Things that they don't even want in books no more. I mean, look how easy it is to try to make things just disappear and be gone, but then for some odd reason, history won't let it die because somebody just won't let it go. That when it resurfaces, it shows the ugliness, the nasty part of life, the part that don't nobody want to talk about part. Like this game, y'all don't know nobody want to talk about that shit. But that's the problem. Because you're going to find yourself going into the future dealing with the same type of bullshit. You're going to get the same type of results that we was getting in the past. And I'm telling you, people don't play with these damn bulldogs. And the more the game seems like heading that way, because when you got a lot of people selling dogs, that means you got a whole lot of storytelling that go behind your sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sales pitches, some of us just go to work, and, the job is already set there for you. So I don't get into what people do. But and these dogs or anything that you do, even when it comes down to your work performance, you're trying to show your worth. That's what it's all about, showing your worth. These dogs, they get the same attention. People want to show their worth. Sometimes, that worth can be so valuable that you're trying to serve everybody and you don't give a shit about how you get it done. Now, true enough, Mo, he right there with Victor from Miami, from Connecticut to Jersey to Miami to Ecuador. There's no question we know Victor. Know Jesse very fucking well. Big shout out to my man Big Michael with Hardcore. Remember, he did some things that, regardless of whatever went down with us, it was always going to be good with me because the man did something to show his, his integrity far beyond just being a good friend. Always included us in everything. The May thing, the 9 milli thing and Pandy, that was just some shit that, your boy talking shit and you trying to be down with your boy, that's all. And then they call him Twin, and the Twin be like, well, shit, my boy ain't scared of your shit. Why are you saying that about your boy? Because you're defending your boy because he's telling you they don't want none of this. When it all come out, it'd be like, oh, that's how that shit is. Oh, okay. Well, this is where, you be like, okay. You can't get away from that fact either, regardless of what's ever being said and how it's being said. It ain't, you can get mad all you want, but the thing is, you're going to be mad at me because I know. We all on this phone and we know how this situation is going. You don't want to argue it, you want to argue me like you being set up. No. If you had said you wasn't going into the bitch, I was prescribing that you don't, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. They called me. I didn't call them. But look what that kind of shit lead to, but you can't get away from the fact that it happened. All that talking shit. What the fuck I got to lie for? You can get mad, but that ain't going to change the facts. You're just going to be mad. What you going to do? That's how I was looking at it, not being even into that. I was just like that. Well, sometimes it pay to come down off that high horse because them brothers just caught you. Mo knew them too. Y'all sound crazy trying to tell us who the fuck we going to be dealing with. Anyway, so it's not like you're trying to stab your boy in the back. No, it's just your boy talking that shit and he want to get that ass and y'all think y'all calling some ass? Hold on. Oh. My bus, they was really on that ass. So these are the things that people can have all the stories they want to have, say the things that they want to say, but we just two people, and this is our experience. There's no reason to sit up here and bullshit you and lie about shit because we file receipts and do all of that shit to show you these is not like just fly-by-night people. These are real good people who had a whole lot to do with our success in this game. Just look at the dogs. How come we wouldn't have good dogs when they have good dogs? We just don't have Mayday dogs when you've got all these other people involved.
23. We had 23 champions. We're going hard. And 2 grand champions. A whole bunch of 2-time winners and a whole bunch of 1-time winners. I know the total number in losses was 21.
How many matches?
Oh, that was almost like 157 matches.
Stop it. And I ain't showing off because don't make me have to pull receipts. Trust and believe, we ain't just talking. We do have receipts. That's a lot of dogs. But again, I can say that we ain't nowhere near bigger than Jesse in Stone City.
And hardcore.
And hardcore. Or Southern Kennels. Or Triple M. Or Mile Mile. Or the Abrahams. And remember, they have a lot more dogs than what y'all be thinking when by just saying the Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just one of them great famous ones that they have, but shit, they weren't new to this game. So yeah, when you know all these people, and there is only one way we could possibly know them, because at some point we all had to been running in the same circles. So I just take it like, what's the future looking like if there's no holds bars? Now everybody knows it's all about selling puppies. I mean, I really be shocked to see the Walker-Mall shit popping back up. And it's funny because we have a black yellow dog whose whole bottom was wild. Damn near walk, right, Mo?
Top. You got top, bottom, and top Walker-Mall.
Yeah. He more Walker-Mall than I didn't see in a while.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of Walker-Mall. So you still can't say we prejudiced.
No, can't say that.
You got a whole lot of them up. You got a whole lot of down Mayday in them too.
Yeah.
I'll just show you that the crossword. Shit, Bud Buck and them got some of that AAA stuff in them. You know, that was a good dog, good bred dog too.
Yeah. I mean, the blood still work. I still see that buck shit still flying around. I'm seeing that T-Bud and all that other kind of shit.
Yeah.
We talked about way back then.
The Garner dogs.
Garner dogs. Yep. If I would just go right back and look at the dogs that we had and still have, you will still see these same dogs that they seem like they jumping on the bandwagon. Them dogs been on the ground as far as we're concerned. Y'all just not getting a chance to see it come to fruition. Why? Because people are breeding the dogs. They're selling the dogs. How do you sell a dog nowadays compared to what we were doing back in our time? I see how. It's all about that paper. Tom, and I said it, if it wasn't last show, it was the show before, I said, Tom is giving y'all the blueprint. I mean, God damn it, if he ain't showing you the blueprint and take hold and understand, when y'all be talking about preservation, separate the hype from the heritage. What does it take to protect the true Apbt? Well, I'm going to tell you, pay attention to Tom Garner and just think about what you see in the church. Damn the dog food on the truck. Man, pay attention to what's been going on in the church. Come on, y'all. There's no time to tell stories because times have changed. I'm always gonna, for right now anyway, I'm always representing the APDR. I don't have any reason to change. I keep talking that, same thing about soft bottoms. I try to stay away from the ADBA because, fairness has a lot to do with, an organization who just don't want to change. And I don't think it's enough of us to get them to make a change within their own organization. So you become that organization's competition. And that's why I always say represent, and get out there and getting some of these other dog shows, and especially people who are at least trying to do something, and support that. Because the rest is always, like I said, it always gonna find a way. It's always gonna take care of itself. But the reality of this whole situation, when you start having people try to justify things that are what we could, I try not to call nobody a liar. The only time I'll call you a liar is when I have to prove that you're a liar. Cause I ain't one to just be talking and calling somebody a liar. I care about, I'm telling you, that's that's defamation for one thing. So again, person can sue you over just lying. But then being called a liar without no proof, from the street side of things, makes me question the person who would want to call me a liar. With no truth. See, we don't ever want to be that on this show. That's why we always push receipts. This is our experience. 65 years old. Why the hell would we change who we are? We don't have to, especially when we sit here. The hell we need a podcast for to try to make us look bigger. No, and we let y'all know we the bottom of the totem pole. As a reminder, we look at the people we talk about. Look at the people we do interviews with. That's the history. Y'all understand that? Take a little bit, just take a little bit from every interview that you actually hear the real people who were involved in them things, not just the stories, but the real people who are actually getting out there sharing their experiences with you guys. I mean, a lot of them guys right here, they telling you the kind of dogs they had, and there's still certain ones that think about the time period, they wasn't dealing with no bullshit either. So it had to be a reason why they can sit there and tell you what they had. Because if it wasn't worth shit, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be typing that shit. That's the reality of what I'm saying and what we're trying to get across. Ben, I had somebody that actually call my house and try to trip on some shit that I know is a lie. And you're trying to, because your name on the pedigree and we put it up there, you don't want to be associated with that lie, then take your name off the pedigree. Because that's your lie that's being told, right? Because we disagree with it. If you don't like it, then change the name, because there's nothing going to make me agree to that shit without proof. And you ain't got no proof. And your talking don't change my mind. And I'm pretty sure all that yelling ain't going to do me a damn bit of good, because I don't hear that. All I want you to do is show me. Don't yell and scream and all that other shit, because then I'm doing what I'm doing tonight, putting his ass on blast. It ain't going to change shit. It is what it is. And then until you come out, here it go again. I'll just make it clear. Anybody had anything to do with Little John in 2002 and afterwards, then there was no semen involved. Unless somebody want to pop up and say they ADBA registered semen shit, whatever that shit is they do over there. Anything after that, you would have to just how? Unless you know the person who took them. And there's anybody out there in this community who knows anything about a story pertaining to anything like that could almost help that young man get out of the situation of why he would say some shit like that, help him.
Well, he got the female.
That's right.
He got the female. So there's nowhere in the world, if you artificially simulate the dog, that would be the first thing that you would make clear about.
Right. It was his female. But again, I'm just saying, Big John popped up. I don't remember nobody ever saying Welcome On got Big John back. But sure as hell never heard nobody say he was over here and West End had him and they was doing the breed. All that would be something brand new to me. But to try to convince the community that just because we sit here looking at a dog that we know about, that dog just wasn't bred like that. And yeah, it's that one part we questioned because it didn't make sense. Didn't take nothing away from the dog. Dog turned out to be a damn good dog. But I don't know what that part of that pedigree actually really is, because we know it couldn't have been Big John. What's so wrong about saying that? Because that's exactly the way we see it. I ain't putting nothing down on the dog. We're just telling y'all what's on the paper and what ain't right about it. Now, don't defend it with your mouth. Do what I just did. I told you about it and I showed you. The shit's on our yard. So please, don't talk. Bring some damn receipts. Somebody's going to have to help me out with that shit there. Because it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? And this is when I be talking about reality. No, talk is going to get you so far. Y'all know that. For us, we come from a world of reality checks. Reality check in the dog game always came down, and if you really wanted to know and find out, you would climb over that wall. Hey, all that, everything before that was just like the boxing match. You know what I mean? He ain't signed the contract yet. Oh yeah, he gonna sign the contract. Oh yeah, but he ain't signed the contract yet. You know how them fights go. Oh, he done signed the contract. Now all the shit talking start. The hype is on because it's locked in. You're going to find out who, after all this shit talking, going to come out. We're going to have some kind of damn decision when this shit is over. Either y'all going to be going in with a draw, or somebody's going to come out with an L. But you're going to get down to the truth of the matter. That night, for me, you couldn't get no realer than that, fellas. Care how big you were, how bad you thought you was. That's not never taking nothing away from your opponent. That's where the gentleman part came into the game, because regardless of all that, in the end, you can still shake that person's hand. Because at least you was there. You showed up. Now how mad you might be. Imagine you're just standing there in between your legs. And you got to shake a man's hand after you might have been the one talking all that shit. You just look by all that shit. You already had a bad enough night. I wasn't one of them to be, sticking the dagger in them and all that. No, I was always gave respect to the man who stood over there. Always. Because this is, the ending to our story. All that talk, I can still shake your hand in the end, but I'm digging and, and boasting. That shit was over when this shit was over. But that's my reality. I have to make that shit up, say, I wish the game was like that. No, how about if I told you that's the way it was? I think I'm in a position to be able to say that. But what does that do for the now? Because we weren't dealing with y'all was dealing with. That you're going to argue about something that you know is a lie. And we know this ain't just the only time I've seen it. I was just really one of them times that somebody would call my house and bring it to me. And you talking about my house, I'm not Mo. So I'm looking at this a whole lot different. Like, I don't really think you want to talk to me. You might want to have that conversation with Mo, but the fact that you actually have the nerve to be calling, acting like that, oh, Let me get Mo, but let me deal with this right quick. I had to deal with that right quick. That's why we're doing tonight's show. Because if you thought what you seen that other night was bad, tonight it's fitting to be real bad. Because you're going to realize we ain't getting up off shit we said. Period. And until somebody start producing some damn proof and stop all this damn talking, you're going to hear me over here on this podcast reminding people of people like that who will lie and will fight to defend a damn lie like it's going to change because you want to, well, I'm not all upset about that because they ain't going to change shit anyway. You want to change something? Show us some damn proof. Anything other than that, you ain't going to do shit anyway. Like you're going to make me change my mind. Total disrespect, fellas. I'm pretty sure by the time he kept making a couple phone calls, I ain't heard nothing else from him. But that ain't stopping me from getting on that ass. Big shout out to my man, Deshaun Hanley. I throw that link down there because I'm giving them a room to come in here and hit that and have some damn receipts over something that we know is a lie, that you want to defend publicly enough that you want to call my house and scream and holler. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Really going to have something to scream about now. Let me see. Hold on. Man, y'all down here just, hold on. I got to hit this one right here. Sag for life. He said, please don't do that show. PBK will literally lose his mind. He's been on his content shit lately. Don't derail him. Walk was hit and a miss, if you ask me. But you know, come on now. Sag, I feel you on that. And I understand nephew, because you know, nephew ain't talking about whack dog. He really defended his own shit and what he did with his shit. I mean, I can't knock no man who willing to defend what he do with his shit. Remember I seen him, change up on Walk. Remember I used defending him to the core. Then I seen him drag him through the mud. But then when it all comes down to it, he can always refer back to his dogs. His dogs ain't everybody else's dogs. That's his shit. That's what he gonna speak on. And I can relate to that because that's how we feel about our shit. This ain't about no goddamn Mayday. This is about going hard shit. When y'all gonna get that? If you start looking at your own yard like that, no, it ain't time shit. I bred that shit. That's your shit. You can start naming all the dogs that's in your shit, but at this point in time, it's your shit. That's how I feel about it. I've never been one to be jumping on, and I don't think since we ever been doing this show, we've always talked about the yard and going hard dogs. So, and for those who think we have to lie about shit, okay, well, there would be no reason for me to get up here and try to lie about something I don't even have to be up here doing. But the reason we do it, and it hasn't changed because maybe we them outgoing two old motherfuckers that respect the game enough and been around that when you sitting back and like I really told y'all why I did this. I seen a man that I knew. Mo knew. That got Mo on these podcasts when Mo had been away from the dog after the shit that he went through, went to jail, killed all this shit. Mo, he was detached from his dogs things. I mean, he got into Malinois and shit. Now he on killer dogs, human killing dogs, protection dogs. That, do protection. So that was his role. But when he got to talking about them bulldogs and then to find out, I still get Doug his shout out because if it don't be for him getting ahead of himself this podcast would have never existed. Because the day that I knew, the Mo knew, and Mo told me that this dude didn't know nothing about no dogs, and he got everybody thinking he's like that dude, and he gonna sit up here and argue with you. And he told me the story. I was like, okay, that's their platform, but we're gonna create our own platform, and we're gonna take care of all of that and bring the real people through. And we've been on that mission. Just look at the very first show. We all kind of told you which direction we was going in, and conversation and everything has changed over the last 4 years, but we never got off the purpose. And the purpose was to make it possible that we could be able to show and share a time period that's not going to show up in nobody's books. You got to be careful who's telling the story. And I don't want nobody out there telling the story that wasn't involved, because you're not going to get the real meaning of what it's really like until you hear people who actually was doing it, or know people who are actually doing it, who understand, who actually have something to really share with you moving in the future to even help you, to say the dog gonna always be the dog. It's just about you, the person who responsible for making the dog whatever it chooses to do. All the good ones gonna tell you that, man. We all had to get them some type of way. We all had to do something to even have them. And that shit was going on long before our time. Come on. The reality check. Come on. There's not a damn thing that was going on now that wasn't going on in the past, except for what the law changes to tell you. Remember, they was holding goddamn dog fights in the Madison Square Garden. Hold on, stop it. My thing is, time has changed. And the reality is, we all have to understand that. So there's no reason to be arguing about how a dog was bred and being upset, because I can tell you plenty of people who we felt like was lying about this whole breeding thing. 2 of them, at least 4 of them for sure. Just real close, but made a lot of money doing it. So can you really knock that? Yeah, because integrity is gone. Money throws integrity right out the window, bro. When integrity goes, so does the truth. So does the loyalty. Money takes charge of all. And if y'all don't realize that when it comes to these bulldogs right here, then this ain't the dog to have, because this dog has to have a purpose. Regardless of what your purpose is, there's things that what it takes to have a purpose and be true to the dog and your purpose. And one thing the dog should never have to worry about is not being taken care of to the fullest. I know all men don't think like that when it comes to the dogs. But the ones that I know that's successful, that you kind of learn from, and you watch how everybody did shit, you seen all the do's and the don'ts, and you clearly make your own mind about how you gonna run your yard, and then you stay true to whatever you come up with. Lions should not be a part of that. Trying to get over on people should never have fit into that. And one thing I've never heard over the last 4 years of anybody ever saying anything about something we took from them. Now they say we lie about a lot of shit, but don't nobody bring up no receipts. Why we slapping y'all up inside your head with receipts? But I need receipts. Don't ever say we lied about something. Don't think you're gonna get a damn ain't gonna get a response, because we're gonna stand on what we believe, because we ain't got no reason to lie. We're gonna stick and fight hard on the truth. There ain't no truth without receipts and proof. Be careful of what you say and how you say it. But I would expect that from anybody messing around with these dogs, knowing the history like you know it. This is a business. That's how I took it. I can't hate on Walk if Walk chose to do that. No, can't either. But it's just funny that they selling all these dogs, and can't nobody win with them dogs but them. If that is his opinion, and you thought about, well, let me see. And then and you look for your own self, and it becomes your opinion. At some point, you have to understand that opinion got to believe, turn into a truth for you, because you are really not seeing it nowhere else. And you ain't the only one to see this shit, right? Reality check. That's not made up. That's reality. That's what really was. But then that's what kind of things happen when you find yourself doing shady shit. You're supposed to get them outcomes. That's almost like trying to say, imagine if the history books had made it like slavery didn't never exist. Or the Indians, didn't run the majority of this thing we call the United States, and look how they was treated. Imagine if you take all of that away from the history books, give it 50 years to where it ain't in no history books, it's nowhere. Do y'all ever think it could be totally forgotten? Because there's some shit that had come out that was supposed to be totally forgotten, but eventually it came out. That's how this game is. You might try that shit now, but don't think it's not going to come out. It's going to come out. And you just don't want to be on the one on the raggedy end. That's why we try to stay away from the raggedy end and tell our truth. We don't have no reason to lie. It's on you, Mo.
You said enough for me. I can't say it no better, man. Yeah, I can't say it no better. I mean, guys out here buying these dogs, you know what I mean? If y'all take heed to what's being said, all these pedigrees, they all look good. And I guess to be able to sell a dog, you gotta have a nice pedigree. And you ain't gonna, and I don't know nobody breeding who's putting down their breed and then think they and trying to sell it. Who does that? You tell me one breeder to make a breed and try to sell it to you without having something good to say about it. He ain't gonna say nothing bad because he's trying to sell it. Speaking of that, selling, about puppies. I got, hopefully this come to pass, but, we had Loctite on the show, and, we was talking about those caveman dogs, and I'm pretty sure when he wants to do he wants to come on the show and do a puppy giveaway or some caveman shit. And I told him it would be cool. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
So, I can't tell y'all what date we're going to do, what the litter is, and all that's going to be covered when he come on the show. But he wants to come on the show and do a puppy giveaway, and I think that'd be a nice thing to see. And definitely like to see it happen on the show here, because somebody
gonna get a good dog.
Good dog. Loctite is one of them great kennels. They have some badass dogs. Can't take that away from them. And if they got something coming down off that shit, and I know they got, I know, you got some Triple M stuff being crossed, off the Miles Davis stuff. Mile and Triple M got dogs coming out there. Then you got a Hog Cash and them boys making some good ass crosses. Them crosses, man, they can get you into some competition. I just think in the traits themselves. You got dogs that can win confirmation shows. You got dogs that can get out there and never did a pulling contest and will pull your ass out the gym. A lot of those show dogs, the confirmation dogs, hey, it wouldn't hurt to put them in some kind of activity if they got the good confirmation on it. That mean they in good shape. Good confirmation mean you in good shape. You know what I mean? Shoot, I know that there was one little story out there where I think it was Awesome Beast and Macho, but within a pulling contest, and dogs was pulling. You know, they these is match dogs now, and they got them in a confirmation show, and then put them into a pulling thing. You know, just for a good event. Both famous dogs there, a lot of famous dog men there, and them dogs had pulled over 5,000 pounds. They ain't had no more. They ain't had no more weight. So they started putting humans on the shit, weighing up the humans, adding the humans to the weight. And both of them dogs pulled 5,000 pounds, both of them. So it ain't always about the box, you know. Just to think, you know, the mentality and the mindset that those bulldogs, match dogs, winning match dogs, you know, did in that weight pool. Imagine 5,000 pounds, and that's a lot of weight. But you know, if we can say that about match dogs getting into a confirmation show, you know, and then get into a pulling contest, you know, and just to see both of those dogs pull that 5,000 pounds, so you know they was looking good in the confirmation show to be in that type of shape, and for dogs not to be trained for the pulling and you know doing that shit as an exhibition, you know, to see those two great dogs, both really grand champions, pull that kind of weight in a confirmation show, a confirmation event. Come on, y'all. So anything is possible, and they pedigree speak for themselves. So just because you got a great fighting dog pedigree, you know, meaning your dog can be a good confirmation or a good weight puller or a good treadmill or a good wall climber. If anything, you should have, you know, the athletic conditioning and ability and gameness to get in any event and compete with those type of dogs. So, you know, and that's the only way to save the game. You know what I mean? Something that's just not getting through to me because there's not enough organizing within the communities to get these people to come together, you know, just to have a good day out and be able to throw a good event for all the doggers. And, you know, it ain't an event that we can get arrested for or get rated for, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to meet and see the dogs, you know, I think that's very special. Now, I wish a lot more people get involved with it. You know, showcase your dogs. It's still showcasing. You know, stop talking about it. Be about it. Even if it means taking them and showcasing them out there in these shows. I mean, at least get to the point where y'all can get like ADPPR and them to come out in your area and present shows. If you got the people that's going to show up, then that means you should be able to push for an event. You know, that's how you get them there. You get the people to see who all want to get involved, and you see you got enough people that want to get involved. They'll come down there through there, and they'll throw a big ass event for you guys. You know, there's a lot of good things that can go with that if we get off of this here and stop looking towards Facebook to, blow up. Let's have some events more like the South Bottom shows where, they had their shows and then we get a chance to see them out here on YouTube and ADPR and they're having this stuff. And then, they putting people in the Hall of Fame. There's so much more of them. I wish they could throw more shows so a lot more people, that really deserves to be in there and really put the stamp down on the ADPR being around for a while. You know what I'm saying? And building that Hall of Fame with all these great dog men in there. I mean, to me, that's big because without them doing that, and until we get they Hall of Fame with all the right people that should be in there that you won't find in a book unless somebody put them in a book, then you guys gonna forget about all these great dogs and the dog men that had them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's important. You know, I think it's very incomplete, and I want it to be completed. I like to see more people. You know, Mr. Garcia should be there. Why? Because he's the professor. Roster Man should be there because he's the professor. You know, kennels like Mardi Gras, Boot Camp. You know, yeah, they got locked down Rudy there, but Boot Camp Click as a whole, the name itself should be legendary. Same with Jerry. You know, Jerry made the Hall of Fame, but hey, DSK as a kennel should be recognized in the Hall of Fame. Not just Jerry, not just Lockdown Rudy, they kennels, Boot Camp, DSK, Mark Davis should be in there. He should be in the Hall of Fame. You know, Crane Valley should be in the Hall of Fame. Brian Bailey should be in the Hall of Fame. You know, there's just so many names. Hell on earth. You know?
Untouchables.
Gaston. You know, we don't even see these names in books.
Vince Cooper,
yep. STP. Super Kennels. You know, for the ATBR to grow and be big, and, you know, and we should all be pushing for something that we can put these great dogs inside the thing. You know what I mean? And the further we get into that, the more great dogs of today has a place to go. Whether it be weight pulling, treadmilling, you know, let's not just keep on putting dogs of the past in the dog fighting history. Yeah, historically should always be there. You know, because that's the history. But let's give them more than just that history. We should build another history for these dogs. A good history that we can fall back on. You know? So that's all I got to say about it, Mike. You know, I mean, really, the show really supposed to, you know, we really had to bring a couple things up to date because you got people out there, if you don't go and put a fire out, you know, you got to put a fire out with fire sometime. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not coming with a water hose. I'm coming with fire. I got a fire I got to put out. I'm coming with fire to burn it out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's what I was on tonight, making that point clear, and a couple of things that we need to clear up, not just for, you know, for the people involved, but just for the people, the community. Cause they start hearing shit, you know what I'm saying, and especially the questions that I seen being asked on the show that you was on, Mike, Sports Archive. I mean, just in the questions, see, everybody don't be having the story right. You know what I mean?
It's not like the same. It's just not the first time that story been told. So don't ever think the story gonna change.
Right.
The reality of it is, because we speak in the reality of it. Now, when you tell a story, your story don't sound nothing like you done heard on every other show. But then that's what made me go in there, because I can straighten that off from you, because can't nobody tell you better than I can, and I will help you fix your story.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna hear it come from my mouth, and I will answer any questions you have pertaining to the situation, because I don't have no reason to lie. I ain't gonna change my mind about shit. You know why I do it? Because I can. Haven't I shown y'all that? So I just don't think that being shiesty is the way of doing things. Talking about people has never been a way of getting anything done. Success comes with doing game plans. Game plans is something you could pick up and read somewhere in history and know what they did and why they were so successful doing it. You know, y'all have to create the game plan for the future. And if it's going to be right, it's got to be right by, the standards we set. With still, integrity has to be one of the most important things that you have going into the future. Because without that, how can you do business or trust anybody? I mean, honesty is something that you really got to know somebody, to really think, really trust them, to a point where I'm saying, yeah, you're honest. I'm an honest person. I try to feel like that I'm at an age, and I always feel like I ain't gonna do nothing I gotta lie about, because I always feel like I fight better when I know I'm right. I fought with more conviction, so I'm always wanting to be right. A lot of people say, "Oh, you always think you're right." Well, motherfucker, prove me wrong. How about let's start right there? Start proving me wrong. And I think everybody should feel like that. Don't just call me, tell me I'm wrong and ain't got nothing to stand on. That shit don't work for everybody. Sure as hell don't work for me. I think everybody should be like that. Let integrity guide you, be your strength. Because when you own something and you real about it, can't nobody mess with that. And I don't care. I know who I am as a person. And last time I checked, you gotta be 18 years old to even be up in here talking about anything, any damn way. So I know I'm talking to a bunch of grown folks that done lived a whole lot of life. And I think y'all should be co-signing on the shit what the conversation is really about tonight. And that's the reality check on everything that we're saying, because you know what? Regardless of what people say and how they say it, there's some reality to the damn madness. And one damn thing's for sure, if you ain't got enough sense enough to realize and see it, then you ain't dealing with reality. That means you on some, some fugazi ass shit. You on catching them slipping and tripping and taking advantage of people. Don't argue with me about trying to save a lie. No, don't say nothing, but come with proof. Just don't say shit. Just come in and say, pull this up, pull that up. Here go this, there go that. You don't have to say shit. I can read.
Like I did.
Exactly like you do. Just pull the shit up.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
I'm telling you why I'm saying it. You ain't with all that screaming and shit. Ain't gonna do shit. And the show as hell didn't do shit over here because it cost you the show. I'll turn the link down there, and you see nobody down there hitting on it, trying to come up here and have that conversation. So I'm pretty sure if somebody told you, they should have told you about what they see tonight. That should really make you mad. Big shout out to my man Javi 360 coming in with that 5-piece. Hey, somebody put up something early part of the show. There you go. Hold on, I see him. My man, Mr. Guy Ghostin, coming in with a 10-piece. I'm sorry, Guy. I knew it was up there, fam. I missed it. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Carlos Regas in the house. What up, fam? I seen Steve. Let me see. I think I had everybody. Oh, man, I see you, fam. I'm sorry about that, bro. I got caught up in the conversation. Havoc, really appreciate that, fam. Hey, man, understand, man, recognize real all the time. Trust and believe what we're saying, because the only way we're going to believe what real is being is you got to be real. I mean, you should never be able to do anything in life that you can't be real about. Because we know anything other than what's being real is some fugazi shit involved. Period. And I don't try to be the judge of character when it comes to people when I do business. And me and Mo have always been like this. There's a difference between me and Mo. The The man called me talking about some shit I haven't. Look, you want to talk to Mo, because that shit you talking right there, it is not going to be about no dogs. So if you really trying to stay on the conversation, you want to talk to him, but you need to stay right over here until you start talking about dogs. So all that other shit don't mean nothing. No, you're going to have to get by me to even have that conversation with him. Because all that talking ain't going to say change shit from what he said. He stand on it. You don't like it, then change your name. Because you ain't going to do shit else about it. You don't like it. Thing is, all this shows that you're a liar. You don't like hearing that. Don't be telling me shit that you can't prove. You can't prove it, then don't be talking who you getting loud with. All that ain't gonna change nothing. What it did, it cost me to sit here and talk about your ass tonight on this show.
To everybody.
To everybody. Marcus. That's all. Anything said after that, I hope you bring some damn receipts. I mean, don't come and be talking that shit. No, you should be breaking out everybody and showing everybody the receipts that in 2004, Big John was alive.
2002.
2002. 2002 proved that he was alive when you made that breed. Because y'all still talking that straw shit, but then for some odd reason, that's some more fugazi shit, because we know I see it all the time with that Damien dog. What you see on Chico Lopez Damien, Mo? What they always got on that, Mo?
They always got that motherfucker's profile. DNA profile.
DNA profile.
They ain't got nothing on Mayday. They ain't got no Mayday profile.
Hell no. No Jeep profile.
No Jeep profile.
No Buck profile.
None of that shit.
None of that shit. Y'all better stop that shit, man. This is kind of shit I'm saying. You start telling lies, and all of a sudden you think that lie gonna make your chest get big to defend. But I'm old school, bro. I make it clear in every song, everything we do over here. We don't talk about it, we be about it. Shock the world and come with some down receipts. Shock the world and come with some receipts. And if you really need a platform to prove them on, I give you that platform. Mm-hmm. I ain't no hater like that. I will really give you a platform if you got receipts. It takes more than talking. All we want you to do is give us something. We're gonna let you stand on the line with nothing. No.
But your
That's like, I mean, come on. This is not what they call it, Texas Hold'em. Like you're gonna bluff your way in the hand and shit. Mm-mm. Bro, I'm sitting on aces. And it's already 2 on the board. You better come strong. That's all I'm saying. Hey man, look, I appreciate everybody. We was kicking it tonight, man. You know, when you already on some shit today, and it's a Friday, ain't got nothing, you know, it's getting ready for the big day tomorrow and everything, you know, all the big barbecue and everything. And then you got some shit like that happen today. And then that just don't do nothing but make you just like, okay, kind of make you get higher. Because you can't wait till time, you know, we done got caught up in talking and laughing and kicking with everybody. Even have my wife going, oh, hold on, who the hell is that you talking to? Just talking to you like that. No, I got this. Oh, no. You know, oh, hell no. Got everybody around too. Mm-mm. Get your brother on the phone. Get this motherfucker. She said, look, she told me you upstairs somewhere. You close by, ain't about an hour or some drive. Pay us a visit. She was mad because, you know, I'm out with everybody and I got them on speakerphone. Think this just to get us a regular conversation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lord. Everybody looking all crazy. Hold on, who the fuck? Oh, Lord, stop. But then that's kind of what had the day kind of thrown off a little bit. Because I didn't know how to bring it to the table. Because I want the people to be aware. We don't put shit out there like that unless we're going to stand on what we're saying. So I don't want nobody to get in the habit of thinking, do we make up shit? Or we can tell you our experience and the proof that comes with it. Now, I would suggest everybody else try to do the same. That'll cut down on a whole lot of the back and forth. Because you put the evidence out there and let people decide on their own. Please don't think you're going to change my mind. Especially when you don't have nothing to show for it. You're going, all that's causing is a bunch of, unnecessary hoopla. Too fly for you too. Okay, I hear you, fam. We have to keep in mind in the early 90s, a lot of great dogs began to surface. Good dogs landed in bad people's hands that had no clue of what they had. For the ones that did, they did what they did. Man, welcome to the show, fam. I appreciate that. Because you know what? You can't get no truthful than that. For the ones that know.
Mm-hmm. 90s changed the game.
The 90s changed the game. Yeah, a lot of people who did get their hands on dogs that didn't know what they was doing. But you can't hate on the ones who did. Because sure enough, is the ones we all, and some of y'all talk about a lot of the ones that we didn't. Remember, this dog game consisted of a lot of great dog men. With a lot of great dogs. We don't know everybody. But then guess what, fellas? We never did say we did. We just try to show you our experience and why it's important for you guys to make sure that them people that y'all talking about get recognized. Because by the time you're done, one damn thing for sure, they're going to know you knew. And you're going to stand on what you feel your truth is when it comes to them. It's just your experience. Who's to tell you anything any different? That's a little different when you say you heard, though. I'm more for the ones who just know. It's a lot easier. And for the ones who did have Mayday dogs that y'all felt like they really wasn't shit, I'm just going to just say, based on the dogs that we had and the other people that y'all seen that was using our dogs, you should feel a certain type of way. Because why couldn't you have what they had? And you had damn near the same shit. You make comments like that, you putting yourself in a situation to be like, okay, we ain't never say all Mayday dogs were good, but you know what? I think we done showed y'all enough of the motherfuckers to let you know they ain't nothing to be fucking with, because there's a reason why he's up to the top of the ROM list. Mm-hmm. So what that tell you about you? All you doing is bringing the light back on you to say who is you.
Everybody can't have one.
Everybody, they ain't meant for everybody. Is you one of them kind of conversations? I mean, but that's what you put out there when people do that. Because you can say that for yourself, but then look how many people who say different. The moments where you wish you was one of them guys. Come on. Those are some of the things I'd be like, look, reality, let's get some reality checking going here. Was it you or was it the dogs? We all know all dogs ain't great dogs, but come on. When you can just say, you had Mayday dogs, I'm taking that you had more than one. Okay, so I'm going to give you that more than one. But think about all the ones that sound a little bit different than you. Maybe the reason why he's up there on that list. I mean, look at all the dogs that we talk about. And we ain't just Mayday dogs, so because they bred all types of damn ways. But if you see Mayday in there, brother, sister breeding, daughter back to father, all kinds of shit we was doing, keeping it strong. But we would add shit to it, but it's still going hard shit. That's our going hard shit. To have Mayday shit in it. Well, what do you say? We can't say the things that you're saying. And there's a whole lot of other people outside of just us who can say the same thing we saying, well, you know, and don't have nothing bad to say about them because they've been around for damn near 30 years. But they're going hard dogs. I mean, of course, there's going to be some type of Mayday in there somewhere, right? I was just saying, man, when you put shit out there like that, it's kind of like, I mean, at what point do you stop looking at the dogs and start looking at the person? That's why sometimes some of them things that, you know, you kind of wonder, all right, if that didn't work out for you, tell me what it really did and how. And see, that leads into different type of conversations because, again, not everybody was in the game like we were in the game because our mentality was a little bit different. So I give people that room. But then that's why I don't find myself ever in a situation where I'm putting anybody down. I'm just keeping things, let's keep it realistic. The realer you keep it, the better off you are because you don't have to be in the fast lane to have bulldogs. You didn't have to be in the journal to get recognition with the bulldogs. Just take it as there's a part of the community that chose to do it that way, and that's the way they did it. And all these magazines, that's who they was representing. So different strokes for different folks, and yes, it was different levels to it, shit, but there's no room to put any level down because everybody who had a bulldog wasn't in the journal. You know what I mean? No journals, not the Gazette, not the American Game Dog Times. Right. But don't be mad because we don't know about them. That's all. And I don't think when I say that, that should be putting anybody down or saying I'm losing respect for it. You know, we can't talk about something we don't know about. That's all. Y'all know a lot of shit that we don't know. Trust me, I see it all the time in the chat room.
Like I said, I'm trying to find out. Give me one ROM dog back in our time that ain't on the ROM list. You know, who never had none of his shit recorded, not his offspring, nothing.
Is there a certain dog you're talking about?
Man, I ain't found him yet. I did ask the community, did they know a famous dog, legendary dog that you can't pick up in the journal? You know, I asked that question a couple of weeks ago. It still ain't heard of even a guess. Because if we don't know about them, how we gonna know, you know, who you talking about? So I think that puts a squash to, you know, those who's always hating on the journal or being dog just being recorded and one compared to one not being recorded. I mean, the one that got recorded turned out to be a legendary dog. The one that didn't get recorded, we don't know nothing about you.
But like Jack said, that was a disservice to the dog, though.
Exactly. Can't blame the dog.
Can't blame the dog. He always said that. You can't blame the dog. Doing the dog a disservice. But that's the way a lot of them people felt. I ain't gonna say we felt any different because we didn't know no better. I mean, look how we came up in the game. And we wasn't no little kids then either, fellas. So tonight it's all about reality. Reality of the future of the American Pit Bull Terrier is still going to fall in the hands of the man with the dogs. Integrity is always going to be a key point. If it seems like you want to find another way around that part, you know, and feeling like there is another way, history will take care of that too. And I just don't think it's good for people to be on that end of history. We've had enough history that we could go back and talk about a whole bunch of bullshit that went on. How a whole bunch of people felt about what went on. They can't go back there and change a damn thing. It is what it is. Might hear all the stories about how it happened, or what happened, and all the different versions. But the fact is, it happened. That's reality. You can't get around the fact that it didn't happen, because it did. And you don't want your future looking nothing like that. You don't want to be a part of nothing like that. You want to squash that as soon as you see that, because that's only fair to the game. When I say fair to the game, because people are supposed to respect the dog and the people in whatever you're doing in your community. If you got somebody in your community that's breaking into people's houses, and that person might be your next door neighbor, I know you ain't about no snitching shit, so you just gonna have to go deal with your neighbor breaking in everybody's house, because you know he ain't stupid enough to break in your house, but he is like your cousin down the street that had their house all broke up in. So he can't respect you. So what you gonna do? You gonna go deal with it yourself. I feel like everybody should be accountable. Every community I've ever been a part of, accountability was always one of the most important things of having a good community. You remember when they had neighborhood watch, where you got all your neighbors peeping out the window and shit? Now they got cameras peeping out the window. All sections around the house, all in the street, all the people. What people got to do is come pull a camera. Shit, they know where you ran, which way you ran from. Just get enough cameras. Yeah, you see him, he ran right by that house at this time. That's how this dog ain't gonna be. Y'all gonna be able to see the obvious. And like every time that you see the obvious, there's gonna be an argument to try to bring some truth to something that you're not gonna be able to bring truth to. So never try to change the liar. Just make sure you have the proof to make sure that he's gonna have to face the fact that you lie. Okay? And that's the reality. That's, match done. Pick him up. Failure to scratch. Can't even call him game no more, because you stuck to a line, still couldn't win. Okay, 2:00, man. Sorry we got started late, but had to get that in. Had to get y'all enjoying the Independence Day. That's what they're calling this, the Independence Day. But whatever day it is, it's supposed to be a joyful day. Give us an excuse to go out and hook up some barbecue and sit back and have some fun.
Yes, sir.
Two Fly said, I have a question. Hold on, Two Fly. 1 second, dog. I got you. Welcome to the Shark Tank, fam. Big shout out to my man, Johnny Rocket. I see you, fam. Mr. Nicholas, what up, though? He said, I have a question, guys. Do you all think we will see a legendary 9-time before 2030? No, because if they doing the right thing, hell no, you ain't supposed to see it. Ain't like saying it can't be done. Remember, times ain't like they used to be. So I mean, anything's possibly due to the lack of the competition, because overseas it'd be a different story where they doing them. I'm pretty sure they got some monsters in the world. And yeah, I think we'll be able to see it, because it won't come from here. And if it does come from here, you can't help but respect it, because again, I can't sit here and act like the basement's just gonna up and disappear, because that's you hear what I say all the time. They're gonna take care of themselves. So you say by 2030, I'm saying by nope, you should never hear about it. Only way you should ever hear and know about it, because you are in the know. Anything other than that, dog fighting is illegal. A minimum of 5 years per count dealing with the feds. So I'm hoping that my answer to your question, no offense to you, is no. Because I don't think we're supposed to. But that was an open question because he did say you guys. That was just my opinion. What y'all think?
They might put the banner across the bottom.
Wait, hold on.
Another good question, though.
Yeah. Very good question. And that's what makes the conversation that much harder because you don't want to say yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, can't say yeah. That's only 4 years, bro. Oh no. That ain't supposed to ever be like that. I'm hoping y'all being careful with that kind of stuff because that shit's leading to RICO cases. Just having a conversation, from my understanding. So, oof. Big shout out to the basement because them a special type of people. You just let them type of people do what they love to do. All right, fellas, before we get out of here, y'all know what time it is. We need to show some love right quick. Show some love. And this is all for the reality of the game. The reality of the future of the American Pit Bull Terrier, for all our sakes, is still going to remain in the hands of the people who own the dogs. And I feel like they're always supposed to be in good hands. That's all. So give me some down. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles, muscles, muscles. Now, give your damn self some damn roses. Roses. You need damn roses. Show yourself some love. For all my bulldoggers out there representing with us tonight, show yourself some love. Because y'all don't understand the importance of the man and the dog in this community. Got to respect the game. In other words, don't talk about it. For real. Be about it. Appreciate that, y'all. Big shout out to my man, as always, showing that love. Fort Lauderdale D in the house, aka Super Kennel D in the house, showing that mad love. Appreciate you being there, fam. Definitely appreciate your support. Johnny Rocket, Havoc, Archie. Archie, I would love to see you get up and do an interview one day. You just know so much. I know you don't have all types of shit, but you seem like a funny guy. I know you got some funny ass stories because I know you've seen some shit. I'll be watching you. But then they shouldn't understand. I mean, everybody got their own stories. And that's the only reason why we do this. To give a platform to where you can talk about something that people can relate. And it's something that of your past. But can't be ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we did what we did. Hey, I'm sorry. Is that what y'all want to hear? Okay, I'm sorry. But let's give the dog some credit. That's all. Give the dog some credit. I'm just a co-star. He's the superstar. He's the one y'all want to see. That's the one you want to talk about. That's the part you loved about the game. Big shout out to my main man sitting back there on the back street. But I see you. This is not J-Bo, a.k.a. J-Bo in the house showing that mad love. The legendary J-Bo sitting in the back just chilling at 2 o'clock, and he right there showing that love. Didn't see him say shit all night, but it's good to know him and D, they be back there, fellas. The legendary people who just want to sit back and enjoy the show. Appreciate you guys for this show and letting us know you're out there. Let them know you out there. On you, Mo. You can finish them up, baby. Mo. Mo. Hey, Mo. I just heard your mouth. I do this. Mo.
Yeah.
You done walked away and everything. What is you doing? You closed the show.
Well, I did. I went through. I mean, what you want me to say?
Just scratch our way out of here then.
Okay, we can scratch our way out. Hey, fellas, y'all know what's up, man. I mean, I said my part, you know. I put all my photos away.
So that's it.
So we're gonna always scratch the rim. Like, we're gonna do that tonight. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always doing this. I thought you had something to say, Ben. This was your beef right here.
It wasn't my beef. But you know, stick me in the corner. God of the situation. I'm there to be true, all the way to the end. And I'm always.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah. Scratch doing. Yeah.
We're gonna go get that bag. Hold on to it. We're gonna come and get it.
Don't everybody panic. It's not over yet. I know he's standing there, but it's not over yet.
Man, we gotta go get that money.
We gotta go get that money. We gotta get that bag, bro. So
I'm ready to go get the money.
Go get it. But until then, fellas, guess what, Mo? I'm gonna do this right here. Until Tuesday, y'all enjoy. Bottom. That's the info for everybody. Check it out.
Yeah. Better know my head, but don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code we live in the game with them pit bulls. See the proof and how to give from the pit to the trophies. Every chain, every game. Don't talk about it, be about it, be about it. Most wanted Kennels in the spotlight. Danger alert, come with the name. Super Kennels competition, all built for the fame. Work Kennels was the work and work, while Cherokee kept the game strong. Evolution built a bloodline where the heart come from. These dogs ain't hype, they the truth in the pit. Every pedigree stamp when them paws hit the street. Ain't no fairy tales, just that real y'all grit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the pit bull script. Shout the brothers with the backbone thick. Veer brothers, color brothers, Bishop brothers legit. They don't talk about it, they be about it every day. Put the work in and y'all let the results say. Them boys on the rise, yeah, the circle stay tight. Plow boys, wall boys, Havana boys in the fight. Different flags, same ground, same fire, same spit. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the litmus test.
Legend of doom, behind set tone. Locked tight, locked in, carved in stone. Church boys hold it with the pit bull gauge. Fruit colors on man, Sean B in the maze. Arsenal game deal, but your knife stay sharp. Only in America, walk them down, ram in the dark. DSK and Mad Ohio dog, pound by hard. When they hit, praise to the men who rock this shit.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, they live it.
Fat boy the legend,
Bill Buster, real strong Southern Bulldog, keep the bloodline long. Latin force pressure, sniper don't miss. Shaded day, shaded with a killer instinct. Twist, super night power, unit whole rank. Boot camp, click hitting like a Sherman tank. Little fine with the vision. Tennessee dog pound, got their eyes on the pit. All legendary, really the shit. Don't talk about it, be about it. Yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it. Yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it. Yeah, they built it brick by brick. Talk about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk about it. That's the yard law, from the pups to the legends, everybody stand tall. Every name on this track got a story that's lit. Don't talk about it, be about it. Every name on this track got a story that's lit. Don't talk about it, be about it. Call this some legendary pit bullshit, 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 pit bullshit.
Going hard, Kennels, yeah, we run this yard. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike, every day they go hard. Line stack heavy like a deck full of cars. From yellow Mayday 8s, they bred real stars. Welcome to the yard where the legends get raised, where the chain spots shine and the bloodlines praise. Grand champ King Kunta with that royal type stride. Red ruby in the pen, red hot worldwide. The brat in the cut, keep the hustle on track. Pretty mama got the look and the structure intact. L-Ride bring the heat, yellow bird bring the flame. Gus and 38 special certified in the game. What day in the ring, crowd love in the scene. Dogs moving like ghosts in the champion's dream. From yellow to buck, their foundation is tough. Yellow buck in the veins, yeah, the roots run rough. Mayday in the pedigree, ace in the spine. That old school fire still alive in the line. Twin brothers in command, pushing forward with pride. Going hard on the banner, let the whole world ride. Hard work in the yard, every sunrise earned. Legacy in the dirt, with every chain spot turned. No shortcuts taken, no champions bought. Just blood, sweat, time, and the lessons they taught. Going hard, Kennels, yeah, we run this yard. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike, every day they go hard. Line stack heavy like a deck full of cards. Yellow Mayday ace turning pups into stars. Sheriff Pal bought us in the game, stamp legit. Find him in Tornadoes pedigree. Hall of Fame, double grand champion. James Pogay, the formula showed how to build and sustain. Blueprints in the blood, yeah, the knowledge remain. T.O. our partner, Ohio Cash showed how to win. Turn losses into lessons, now it's trophies we spin. Mama, Triple M, deep south in the mix. Arsenal, Kennel, Stone City, solid foundations, no tricks. Hardcore, BLB up in the spec, it's 6. Yes, yes. Tom, Dick, Todd, Tony Wade, Southern Kennels, real ones through time from Pro Set, Windy City, combined in place, low type, apex, pressure built for the chase, gotta eat boys, black ice, hunger sharp as a blade, third verse for the legacy, every debt fully paid. Yeah, I said third verse for the legacy, every debt fully paid. We in the trenches, feel that hunger in the air. Yeah. Welcome to the yard. If you're tough, you can stare. Yeah, welcome to the yard. Where the chain spots shine, bloodlines run deep, every pedigree's prime. The game Apbt, worldwide pride. You come correct, or stay the hell outside, legacy made. We grind, we hustle. Twin bosses, Mo and Mike locked in the scuffle. Yeah, we run the yard, iron fists and grit. When the sun comes up, no, we never gon' quit. Dudo and Devo, legends carved in stone. Patrick Bolio made the yard they home. Tanned and yellow, they whisper through the trees. Echoes of greatness, feel that legacy breeze. Going hard, yeah, we run this yard. Nothing but the best. We don't play it soft, bloodline stack heavy, 52 ways so strong in this dog-eat-dog world. We know where we belong, the yard where greatness prevails. Pressure creates, knowledge knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes. Falls on the fucking deal. Pressure creates knowledge and hard work. It's how history bakes.
Tails in the dirt. Every change spot turn, lessons learned hard. Like the scars we earn, no shortcuts taken. Champions ain't bought, just blood and sweat. This legacy taught from Mayday to Ace, Buck to G. Every warrior counts, we ain't losing no sleep. Heat like a furnace, knowledge is the key. In the yard we trust, we got the pedigree. Feel the intensity, blaze in the fight. In the shadows of the yard, we rewrite the night. From the ring to the chain, we like kings cut out. Mo and Mike, every victory's what we shout. Going hard, going hard. Yeah, we run this yard, nothing but the best. We don't play it all, bloodline stacked heavy, 52 waist strong in this dog eat dog world. We know where we belong, the y'all in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history made y'all in the dirt. Yeah, knowledge and hard work. It's how history made. Yeah, legacy in the dirt. Yeah, to that fame. The game Apbt. Remember the name, so step back. If you can't handle the heat, the yard's going hard. Put the game on repeat. It's Mo and Mike. Kings in this game, going hard. Kennels forever ain't the same, nigga.